Y'all ready? Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the New York born, Las Vegas made, always getting paid, with the Usain Bolt fast, the one to beat, but good luck with that. The man who never sleeps, and neither does his podcast. The notorious, the glorious, can do everything except Boris. Has the funniest jokes. Is always woke. The podcast GOAT. The man with the plan. AKA your host, Killer Cam. Now kick back in your seat and we welcome you to the podcast that never sleeps. Killer Cam. And witness greatness.
Venice.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the podcast Never Sleeps. I'm your host, Killer Cam, aka Chip Boy. And with me always is the handsome, talented, and charming Jared, aka Ja Resurrector.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Happy to be back. Happy to be back with you all.
Jared.
Nice. I'll take it.
You'll take it.
Yeah.
So, guys, we have a really fun episode planned, and I'm so excited that you guys are going to be a part of it because it's
Pretty
very
fun.
interactive.
Oh, yeah.
We have a lot of you guys. This is the most pre-show interaction that we've ever had because we reached out via all those fun apps, Instagram, Facebook,
TikTok, YouTube.
Big Block, all of them,
Some.
to say, hey, guys, submit some questions because we're doing some fun stuff. And Jared here is going to explain what we're going to be doing today.
Exciting episode. Hey, TBRM. Hey, Chase,
What's
Mac.
up, guys?
Welcome back.
TBRM said, yay, the highlight of my week.
Very
We're
kind.
so happy to hear that.
This is going to be such a cool show. And so you guys in the chat, D Livewire, welcome. You'll get a chance today, should you wish to interact and get a live tarot reading on air. We're going to be talking astrology, we're going to be talking tarot, and then we're going to do a live reading. We've got some questions we want answered. The folks out in the audience have some questions. Yeah, so Jessica Brittany, welcome to the chat.
Welcome, Jess. Welcome
she
to
wants her
Livewire.
cards read. Yeah. This is going to be fun. You guys make sure to stick around. Make sure to submit questions when we get to that part of the show.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
You guys are in for a good one.
Yeah.
And right now, very important, make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you're subscribed.
Yes.
Because that helps us keep us going.
Yes.
Keeps us going. I'm able to
does.
spit that out. That helps us, make it worth the while so that we could provide the gigs and the love for you guys, like the cat lover right here.
Yeah, well, cat lover.
What's up? So, first, I say we start just to help us get in the groove of stuff
Let's groove.
with the week song.
Yeah. It's a good one.
So, your week sauce. How was your week, my friend? Felicity, what's up, by the way?
It was, at first, I thought it was like one of these, there's always stressful things going on. I wasn't sure about the week, but then the greatest thing ever happened.
What's that?
So we ended up seeing something on the news last night.
Oh, yes,
that
of
just
course you
made
loved
my
this.
whole freaking week, man.
Made
Something
your
we've talked
year.
about on the show. We've talked about this on the show before. Even a couple weeks ago, I talked about how around June 11th and 12th, there were going to be some announcements made. But last night, we got the first of what is many to come. There was an intelligence officer who came forward. He's got all the right credentials, completely vetted out, who says that for a fact, we are not alone, that extraterrestrials have visited this planet and their crafts have crashed and been recovered by our government.
Yep.
And they've been working on this technology, reproducing it and reverse engineering it. There is an actual program to reverse engineer alien crafts, and he verified it the first time this has happened publicly ever.
We're not alone, guys. There
Yeah.
are aliens, and it has been now the government. I mean, little by little information has come out. There's been whistleblowers, but now, without a doubt, without a shadow of a doubt, we are saying there is alien life forms out there.
Yep, intelligent
Intelligent alien life forms who can have interstellar travel.
Yeah, they can traverse the cosmos.
Traverse the cosmos.
They've been visiting us, and that sheds a lot of light on even ancient texts.
Oh my
and,
gosh.
ancient Sumerian tablets and all these stories that people started writing off as fables.
It changes the world.
It changes everything.
It changes the world as we
Yeah.
know it.
So-
Because and I was talking, even my mother said, because I was speaking to her about it.
Yeah.
And she said she's creeped out.
Yeah, that's
Because
funny.
and she's like, I already figured there was aliens,
Right.
But now to know without a doubt
Yeah.
there is. She's like, the world's a little creepier
Yeah.
now, which
Yeah.
I get, which is crazy.
And they're not probes. They're not probe crafts. They're not drones. This guy verified that there were bodies involved.
I was
in
just
these
gonna say,
crashes.
not
Yeah.
only was there crafts recovered, there are bodies of these extraterrestrial creatures.
Oh yeah.
So insane.
Yeah, Felicity, welcome. Sarah, welcome. Tina, welcome.
All the greatest people.
Yeah,
Look at
we
this.
got the greats. People
got
are
the
excited
greats.
for some tarot readings, I think.
Yeah, they're excited for some tarot readings. I know they're excited for a Marvel Minute because how could
yeah,
they
it's
not
gonna be
be?
fun.
I know they're excited for the gosh dang news
Yeah.
segment. Come on
Oh, the
now.
news. We got
Who
the
doesn't-
news today,
Who doesn't
yeah.
love the freaking news segment, dude?
Yeah,
Come
it's
on.
pretty
That's
great.
A#1, baby.
But man, that made my week. It made my month. It'll probably make my year, and it's only going to get better from here. I feel
But
like.
you had an Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania moment where you're walking down the street, happy as can be, and then a thought popped into your head.
Yeah, that's true. That's funny you brought this up because I
Yeah.
wasn't going to talk about it, but now that you did.
Because it was the most personal thing ever. But I guess now that you brought it up,
No,
when I was
so-
6 years old.
No, that'd be great. It's like some dark
Yeah, some
secret.
deep.
Before the announcement was made yesterday,
Yeah.
I was just going about my life, not
By the
even
way,
thinking about this.
not to interrupt, I'm
Oh,
so
go for
sorry.
it, go
I
for it.
did just want to say,
Yeah.
we do have an entire episode about this, guys. The Shadow Government episode 28, if I'm not mistaken. But it's called
I think so.
Shadow Government.
Yeah.
And you'll even see UFO recovery. What is it called?
Yeah,
UFO recovery
retrieval program, yeah.
Retrieval program, even
Yeah.
in the title. So
Yeah,
you can't miss
search
it.
UFO retrieval program in our stuff if you want. Paper clips in there.
Yep, Operation Paperclip. We talked about a lot of cool stuff.
but yeah, we
and
talked
Chase
about
Mack
this.
says, aliens are among us.
Yeah, they are.
They are.
They're
though.
right there.
There's literally bodies in facilities that they're working on.
That actually makes that one video you posted. There was a short on our channel.
Dude.
Oh, I don't know if is it on our channel?
No, it's
in
not because
TikTok.
it didn't get no love.
Oh,
but now it
dude.
might get some love because
Right.
it's fucking insane.
Yeah, it was one of these creatures that supposedly was at Area 51 being
At
interrogated.
S4, yeah.
And it is a creepy video, and people don't know what to make of it. But the guy who originally uploaded this swears that this is the real deal.
Anonymous
Yeah.
man. Even when he did the interview, was shadowed.
Yep.
Had a voice
augmenter,
modulator. Yep. Totally anonymous.
Yeah.
And said, I worked at S4. I'm doing this to protect myself.
Right.
Here's footage, and it's literally an alien being interrogated. And it's
Yeah.
not, it's like, or not even interrogated so much as they've had previous sessions,
Right.
and it's a psychic
That's right.
drawing more knowledge from them, asking them
Yeah.
questions. But you could tell that he's in distress. And so he's going, and you could see him moving with his
It's
big eyes. You could see him
creepy.
getting distressed. And then so these doctors come in for the alien, and they look around his eyes to look for
In his
hemorrhaging,
nose, yeah,
in his
sinuses.
nose,
Yeah.
everywhere. Oh yeah, all the face holes.
Yeah.
Looking at his face holes for hemorrhaging, and it's the creepiest story. And
it
now,
is, man.
after hearing this, you're like, wait, S4 aliens.
Yeah.
this
Dude,
might be real.
Lazar, He was telling the
Dude,
truth.
Bob, and
he
now-
was telling the truth.
Can everybody who doubted Bob Lazar please apologize
Please stand
publicly?
up. Please stand up. We want to, vilify you.
Yeah,
this
yeah.
is so great. I love all these people.
We want to vilify you.
Right?
Yeah.
All
Please
the
stand up so we can point
debunkers.
at you and
Yeah.
scream.
We can't wait to to tell you how
Yeah.
stupid you were.
Yeah.
Because people, how long was it the opposite? Where anybody who believed in this stuff, anyone who talked about this was like
Yeah.
looked at sideways. Now we know it's true. We
Yeah.
know the UFOs are true. Now we know the actual crafts are real, and they're
the
here.
told you so gangs here saying,
oh yeah.
uh-oh.
What a
Uh-oh,
great
guys.
week.
Told you so.
So you want to hear the personal thought? Okay. So I was sitting there, and I wasn't even thinking about this subject at all, and a thought crept into my head.
When you were going to take a piss.
Yeah, I realized I was like, these craft, and this literally popped in out of nowhere. I was like, these craft operate on what we know as 0-point energy, right? It draws power from the vacuum of space, from empty space. And when we were talking about this before, there was a fact that's been floating out there that in a coffee cup, there exists enough energy to evaporate every ocean on Earth. Which means these power sources, just like nuclear power or any other power source, can be weaponized. And the thought that I had was right now, if there were some more act of terrorism involving a nuclear weapon, we have sensors, we have things that can detect uranium,
Absolutely.
And nuclear materials.
Very hard to smuggle these materials and create them. Yeah, absolutely.
But the Tesla 0-point energy devices and the devices that other people have recreated after him, those are just normal materials. There's nothing
you don't need uranium.
nuclear
Yep.
about them.
Nope.
So you could build one of these devices and weaponize it
your
and we
freaking
would
backyard.
Have, and no one would ever know.
Yeah.
And that's what's scary about this technology too, is we're not an advanced beings like these like the aliens are. We still are human and we have human tendencies. So this stuff gets out there and people start being able to recreate it. It can be weaponized. And
I know. I didn't even
powerful.
think about how them reverse engineering it and using what Tesla basically built.
Yeah.
Using this blueprint in a negative way to impact the
Right.
world negatively. A terrorist could use it.
Yeah.
By the way, Sarah said something hilarious. She wants to start the hashtag sorry Bob.
That's great. Yeah.
Sorry, Bob.
That's a smart one.
Hey,
actually.
let's Twitter. Listen up. Hashtag sorry, Bob. You were right.
All along, dude.
Yeah, the whole freaking time, and we are sorry.
Yeah. So that was the thought I had, and it was super depressing because I'm like,
Of course.
darn, I want this stuff out there, and I want the public to have access to free energy.
Of course.
But shoot, there's always that chance because of just in human nature that people will try to weaponize it, and how do we track that?
Yeah.
There's no way to really see that coming.
Who's making a little battery thing with water and it's like
Yeah,
fuck,
I
dude, we're screwed.
Eh.
Yeah.
Yep.
But so that's your week sauce.
Yeah.
All right.
Good week sauce.
Yeah, man. Yeah. So or not, depending on how we
Yeah,
look
well,
at
it's
it.
been a good week, but you're right. I
Sure.
mean, there's some stuff in there that is kind of creepy and scary.
So my week sauce. So the food portion of week sauce, I went to Angel Park and got some awesome food at that golf
yummy,
course there.
nice. Yeah,
it
they
was
have good
delicious. I got a
stuff.
Reuben and I got a large soul salad.
Oh, good for you.
Oh, so good.
The
A
Reubens
large,
are so good.
I got a large Greek salad, but I took away the olives and I took away the tomatoes.
Oh, my favorite part.
Basically, not even a Greek salad
Yeah.
anymore. I just wanted the cucumbers and the dressing,
I love
baby, with some
olives.
onions. Let's go.
Okay,
But
okay.
and then I had a pre-card read sesh with
Oh.
Diana, the amazing tarot card reader. And
Man, she's
blew
got
my
some
mind.
things to say, right?
Dude,
I didn't dive in with her too deep because I wanted to. Yeah,
mind.
I wanted to hear it on the show.
Yeah, if you want to ask,
Yeah.
which I hope you do, if you want to ask something here. But guys, we have a bunch of pre-submitted questions from her, and a lot of you guys on the chat even submitted questions, and they're good questions, and you're gonna get the answers. So I'm very excited for you guys, and for myself, and for Jared, and for the whole TPTNS community. So other than that, my week, a pretty darn good week. We've gone up a lot in subscribers. The channel's been doing really well.
Yeah, the channel's doing really well, guys. Thank you so much,
Thank
all the
you
viewers
all.
out there, for enjoying the content, for liking the content, watching it. It's great. Thank you.
Yeah, I appreciate the heck out of you guys.
Yeah.
And you patrons, especially, you guys freaking rock,
Yeah,
man.
love you.
Love you so much. So, other than that, just a darn good week. And I think we move on to...
Let's do it.
Let's
get
Let's
in.
get into... And you know what I'm talking about, Drew.
Oh, yeah, of course.
think you know
Well,
what
of
this is
course.
all
Everybody
about.
knows what we're talking about. Everybody knows.
The freaking Marvel Minute.
We got a format, baby. We got a
We
format.
got a format, baby. We got a
We
stew
got a
going.
format going.
Baby, we got a... I was going to say either a format or stew.
Yeah.
But I'm like, let me make sure everyone gets the joke,
Yeah, of
hopefully.
course.
Baby, we got a format going, but we got a stew going, baby.
Yeah.
So we do have a stew going.
We do.
And so for this Marvel Minute, so I wanted to relate it to the topic at hand, right?
course.
To astrology.
Makes sense.
Before I finish my sentences, you're there. It's
Yeah,
perfect.
man, I got you.
Like even before I finish my
Sentences right there.
Wow. I'm glad you didn't say sandwiches. So we want to relate the Marvel Minute to astrology and to seeing the future, thinking of the future.
Right.
Yes. The past, the present, all of this, and what in the Marvel universe we were thinking can relate to this.
Now, what indeed?
What indeed? What did
Yeah.
we come up with?
So something that was really interesting to us. So we were
Yeah.
talking about how fortune tellers, they tell you these things, they give you an idea of events to come.
Sure.
And in the Marvel universe, this did happen during Marvel's Infinity War, the MCU movie Infinity War.
Oh, yeah. Sorry.
Yeah, there's a moment where Doctor Strange looks through all possible future outcomes to figure out if they can actually beat Thanos.
We actually have let's have the video playing while you talk about it.
Yeah, so he looks through all possible future outcomes and he wants to see, is there a chance to win? And he comes up with, out of the thousands of different future outcomes he looked at, there was only one in which they beat him. And he relays this information to Stark.
Yes, he does.
Oh,
So
cool.
here
We do
go.
have it. There we go.
So we could start
There
here.
he is. Yeah, this is cool. I love how they show him looking through the future. There's all the shaking and stuff.
It's so cool.
Because he has the time stone. He
Yep.
has the ability to look into the future.
Be back here.
Hey, what was that?
Yeah,
Forward in
right.
Time to view alternate futures. To see all the possible outcomes of the coming conflict.
And what did you come
I
up
love how
with?
dramatic.
605.
How many?
How many we
4
win?
billion.
Oh,
605.
that's a lot.
Or is it million?
It's million. So, yeah.
Thanks
so,
to Skillshare for
Thanks
support.
to Skillshare.
Yeah,
Yeah,
thank y'all.
that's what's next. That's what makes sense next.
Anyway, so we thought, okay, if he's telling him that there is this one outcome in which they win,
Yeah.
how does that affect the decision making after you know that?
So it's like that time travel theory where
Right.
if I go back in time and I say, Jared, you're gonna die by a train or by a car accident
On
on
April
September
20th, yeah,
3rd.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
And then so everything you do is gonna be to avoid dying by a car accident on September 3rd, right?
Right, because now you know.
So, but now that you know, does that affect and change? Do you make every decision to avoid that? Or were you always told that and now
Yeah.
you make every decision to lead to that car accident?
Right, makes
It's
sense.
crazy. Who knows? Who knows?
But we do see an example of how this affects Stark. Do we have a clip of that?
we sure do.
Oh, gee. Okay, so this is kind of the cause and effect here.
So we saw that happening. He's
Yeah.
like, hey, I'm looking through all these futures. How many do we win? We win one.
Yeah.
So when they're fighting in the midst of a battle,
Yeah.
and Thanos is
Final battle endgame.
snap away from taking out the entire universe, half the entire universe.
Yeah.
And so
Well, this
he
time
has
he's
to
going
remind
for all of
Stark.
it, right? Because he wants to
Oh,
start a
this
new
time he
universe.
wants to.
Yeah.
You're right. This time he wants to wipe the slate
Yeah,
clean.
the stakes are
'Cause
even
he's
higher
like,
somehow.
Yep. Yeah, exactly. He's like, because I realized those who remember what was will
Can
never
never be happy, yeah.
appreciate
They'll
what
never
is.
accept it.
Yeah. And so here's what happens.
Yeah.
In the midst of
Yeah.
battle, he's like,
Mm-hmm.
how are we going to freaking win this, dude? One way.
Yep. So
And that tells Stark everything he needs to know.
Yeah, because right before this scene, Stark says, "Is this the one? Is this the outcome that you saw where we win?" So my question is, if he doesn't show him that number one and give Stark the hint that this is that future where we can win, does Stark still make the
Mm-hmm. Sacrifice himself.
sacrifice?
It's a great question.
Does he? Did that actually cause him to make the sacrifice, allowing them to win, or what? Like what? How do you?
Can I pose a theory,
Please? Yeah, that's why I'm asking.
if I may?
Yeah.
So, what if not only was there other ways to save the universe,
Right. Yeah.
but what if Doctor Strange intentionally chose this one for a specific reason?
Oh, you mean he wanted Stark to sacrifice himself?
He needed Stark
He
to
needed
sacrifice
him
himself.
to. Okay, well, let's hear this
Let's
theory.
explain
I'm
why.
excited. Let's
So
explain.
here's why I believe Doctor Strange needed Tony Stark to sacrifice himself, as opposed to it being the only outcome for them to win.
Okay.
I think there was multiple outcomes, and this is the one they chose because he needed Tony to die.
Oh, no.
Because
because they didn't get along and he didn't like
yeah, he just like, oh, this guy's a prick. He leaned
Right, yeah.
on the
Cosmos,
yeah,
Cauldron of the Cosmos.
Cauldron of the Cosmos.
Yeah.
And so he's like, screw this guy.
Right.
No, what I think happened was I think when, as we saw, Doctor Strange looks into the future,
Yeah.
sees all these multiple possibilities.
Yeah.
Several of them include Tony Stark, because he is the one who created, remember, let's see the reverse Mobius strip.
Right.
He created those time travel GPS things.
Yeah,
he
for
basically
sure.
solved time travel.
He solved time. He actually created a time travel device. You're right.
and
He
Doctor
is the
Strange
cause of that.
and Doctor Strange is the keeper of the time stone.
Right. That's true.
So time and stuff that's their thing.
That's his domain. Okay.
That's his domain, absolutely.
And he's just meant to protect it.
That he absolutely. So what I think could have occurred is he needed Tony to die because he saw in all these other dimensions and all these other realities, all these other timelines that Stark sort of pulled off a Kang type of thing, where when he opened up the possibility for time travel,
Okay.
into alternate universes, right? He saw his variants, and Tony's variants. Not all of them are great. Some of them, maybe even like a
Wow.
Tom
We know there's
Cruise.
got to be some evil.
Of course.
Starks out there for sure.
A few things changes.
Yeah.
Let's say he sees one specific timeline where there is no Pepper Potts.
Oh, if Pepper died or something,
Yep.
he would do a
Pepper
full
gets killed by Ultron or
Superman,
something. Yeah.
What's that run where he kills everybody because she's
Injustice.
Dead? Injustice. He
a
would
whole
become
Superman
it would
Injustice.
be Iron Man Injustice.
but in
yeah.
Iron Man. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that. So he goes and he sees Pepper's dead in this universe.
Yeah.
Rhodey refuses to speak to Tony.
Oh yeah.
Tony is Tom Cruise in this universe, let's even say.
Okay.
The superior Iron Man. But he has lost a lot. He's pissed. He's angry. He's not the Tony we know, the
Okay,
Downey
yeah.
Tony.
He's
He's
like
not
a-
Robert Downey Jr. Tony Stark that we know and love from the MCU, from Earth 616.
Which is, I'm sure there's thousands of possibilities of
Absolutely.
that. So there are a
It's-
bunch of evil Tonys.
Yep.
Okay.
So-
with time travel capabilities.
So let's focus on this one. Let's
Okay.
say this one specifically is like, you know what? I need to conquer all the other timelines. And not only does he have the technology, like a Kang,
Yeah.
but he has the intelligence, right? And
Yep.
now
Oh,
with
and we know he's motivated this way. He wanted to put a suit of armor around the world. Right? He wanted to
Ultron program.
literally, yeah, create the Ultron program for this purpose, and that went sentient. And even after it did, he still kept making one, which became Vision, because
Yeah.
he was so driven and scared by the threat of Thanos coming down the road that
Yeah.
he was willing to sacrifice all civil freedoms.
Yep.
He was willing to put surveillance on everything and have robots patrolling
a
around the
suit
entire
of armor
world.
around
Yeah.
the world. I think Cap said it best. I think he's the one who said the line. Sounds like a cold world.
Right.
Maybe it was Scarlett Johansson's character, Black Widow. But anyway,
yeah.
so maybe it's like a Kang situation where he sees multiple timelines. He sees Tony as a villain, conquering timeline after timeline after timeline, trying to go back to one where Pepper's his girl and,
Yeah.
whatever his
Well,
motivation may
how
be.
would killing just this one though stop all the others from being?
So this is the one who
around?
created it, right? So this is the prime Tony.
Okay.
As we know.
That creates
616
time
Tony
travel?
is the prime Tony who creates it. And then he just goes to another timeline and says,
Okay.
hey, Tony,
So you think
912.
not the other Starks didn't invent time travel. It was just this one, as Doctor Strange says. It's just this one
prime Tony.
that creates this for this reason, because in this timeline, this was the problem they had to solve. So that's why he creates the time travel.
And
So
then
the others didn't have the same problem.
Exactly. And
makes
so
sense.
now Strange sees this. He's like, crud.
We
this
need him to
sucks.
die
I need
to
him
close
to
the
die."
loop. Okay.
How can that happen? How can I
Yeah.
kill two birds with one gauntlet? Make sure Tony's the one who snaps. All I got to do is hold up my finger, tell him there's only one way we can win.
Right.
Hold up my finger in the midst of battle.
And he would know that would work because he could
And he-
look into the future
he
and
saw
see it
in
in
the
the
future
past.
that
Yeah.
it worked. So he saw multiple timelines where it actually worked out for them, but he needed the one where Tony died because Tony would go and become sort of the Kang the Conqueror.
Cause the problem. Okay. Well, that's not a bad theory at all. And it's totally within Stark's mental.
You're welcome.
Yeah. That's a good theory.
I came up with all by myself.
Oh no, it really is cool. Yeah, and it's not like they were close. I don't think like Strange would have any hangups about.
I don't think so.
Losing a Tony.
Especially because he's the owner of the time stone and he has to time is his thing. I think that would be a big part. I think that would make a big part.
Yeah.
Play a big role in his decision making
Holy
process.
crap, man!
Anyway.
I hope that's not what really happened, but
Right.
it could have been.
It's a crazy
It's
theory.
not a bad guess.
It's a crazy
For sure.
theory. But yeah, I say. Is there anything else you wanted to mention about that Marvel?
No, I'd
because
love
I know
to
these
know
people are chomping at the bit.
If anybody in the chat wants to, let us know what you think of that theory,
Yeah.
or let us know if you think Tony would have sacrificed himself anyway if
Regardless.
he didn't see the one, or if the one is the reason he sacrificed himself. If
'Cause
knowing
we-
the future caused him to change his action.
Because we
Right.
know in general, Tony, not as the opposite of what Cap said, he was not the guy to step on the wire or jump. He's not the guy to
Yeah,
lay on the
wire,
what
let
is
the
it?
other guy crawl over you.
Yeah, exactly. So he is the guy that make the sacrifice play.
Yeah.
That's what he said specifically.
But going into this, he told Cap, "I need to keep what I have. I have a family
Get what
now."
we get what we lost, sure, but I need to keep what I have.
Right, like saving the world and bringing people back wasn't as important to him as it was to all of them.
keeping what he has.
He had what he always wanted.
And like Pepper said it best, man. He's like, I could just throw all this in the lake right now, all
Yep.
this time travel stuff. She's like, but would you be able to rest? And absolutely, he would not be able
No,
to.
yeah.
Because at heart,
Yeah.
Tony is
He's a hero.
a true hero.
Yeah.
So
We
great
miss you,
theory,
man.
Cameron.
Good theory, yeah.
So it's fun. Anyway, I say we get into the meat of it.
We love you 3000. Oh, yes, we can get into the meat now. I know. I miss Tony Stark. I hope he comes back for Battle World. But good Marvel minute. I'll leave it
Absolutely.
there. Yeah.
To business,
To business.
3 men
No, there's no more of these, is there?
who believed in atrophy of the legs
Ooh.
walked
Yeah.
into a bar.
Okay.
They see the bartender
Yeah.
and yell, "Sir, may I order a drink for me and my friends?"
Mm-hmm.
The bartender yells back, "But sir, you came in alone."
Oh, very interesting.
What did Sarah say?
Said. I think it's a good theory because it's almost unbelievable that there was only one possible timeline out of
Yes.
so many.
Thank you.
And they were actually able to align with it. 100%. That is weird. Out of 4 million different timelines,
604.
only one, and they're in that one.
Yeah.
And everything they've done has been leading up to this one. Like, it's true. It's
Thank you,
kind of
Sarah.
a silly notion.
Thank you, Sarah, for
And
getting my
we
back.
know this too.
what do
Kang
we
the
know?
Conqueror exists, or sorry, He Who Remains exists during this time.
Oh, absolutely.
And
He
branch
allowed that to
timelines were
happen.
being clipped. So
Yeah.
yeah, this was always going to be what happened.
He allowed that
Right.
specific scenario to play out.
Exactly. Yeah.
Why so?
Yeah, there's something there.
Maybe Tony was a threat to
Oh,
Kang?
for sure, he would have been a
Yeah,
threat if he would have
absolutely.
stayed alive.
Absolutely.
You don't want him around, time travel guy.
Ooh,
Yeah.
See, we're adding to it.
Yeah, all he needed was his tech because that tech was probably the genesis or the basis of Kang's tech in the future. I'm sure that he took a little something from what Stark did.
Absolutely.
Because if you were, in a future where the world was saved by a guy who went back in time, and you knew this,
Yep.
the whole world knows
Yep,
what
the
happened.
whole world knows.
You would know that not only time travel exists, but it's possible to create, and somebody with the genius of Kang would try to make it. Should that not happen, maybe he does something different. Maybe he goes in a different direction, and time travel's never created.
So Kang has that technology,
Yeah.
and Iron Man has great tech. And actually, the
Yeah.
next Marvel Minute, we're going to get into a little bit of Iron Man tech. So
Yay!
stay
I
tuned.
love
I think
talking
you guys are
Iron
going to
Man.
love the next Marvel
Yeah,
Minute.
it's gonna be fun.
It's
That's what I love.
it's one we put a lot of effort into, and
Oh,
it's going
yeah.
to be a lot of fun for you guys.
Lots of fun.
So the next Marvel Minute is going to be fun. But until next Tuesday,
Until then,
let's get to the meat of it, baby.
let's meet.
So, astrology.
Yeah,
Let's start with astrology.
let's start. I love it. We're getting
So,
into it. Segment time.
I say, how about I just sort of lay out the genesis of astrology, what
Okay.
it is, and
yes.
then maybe you can explain how it relates to how science, how it
Yes.
relates to science in a way,
Yeah, we're going to talk about astrology and
that.
tarot.
and tarot.
You're going to bring up astrology and talk about what it is exactly.
Yes, sir.
And then I will explain why it does work scientifically. That's cool. I like this.
Ah, okay.
Okay.
Let's do.
Let's
so,
do.
let's do. So if I may,
Yeah, please.
may I have the floor?
Have it. The floor is yours.
Thank you, sir. Very
Give him
kind
the
of you.
conch.
Thank you for the conch. I now hold the conch. So, from Aztecs to the Han Dynasty in China,
Wow.
every civilization since the beginning of humanity has been looking for some sort of meaning within the stars. Okay?
That's awesome. Yeah, and we know that.
Yes.
Holy crap, do we know
this.
that?
Oh, do we know that?
Yeah.
So, what is astrology? Astrology has 4 fundamentals: the planets, houses, signs, and aspects. Okay? So, astrology is a system to try and understand and explain our behavior and life's experiences based on stars and location and movement of the planets.
Okay.
Okay? So, pardon me. So, how are we affected by these celestial bodies
Right.
and the position of them, right?
Thank you, Chase.
What did Chase say?
This show is so fun.
You're the man, Chase.
Thank you, sir.
Number one fan,
Yeah.
dopest dude ever. We got to meet him and talk to him on the show,
Yeah.
and it was so great.
We have a crash talk with him on it.
It's a great crash talk. It's
a really
actually
good
our best crash talk
yeah.
as far as
views.
numbers.
Yeah, for sure. People love that one.
So, creating a chart based on where the stars are when you were born is called your natal chart. Okay. I don't know if you know what a natal chart is.
No, I
'Cause
do
you're a
now.
layman. No, I'm
like
just kidding.
prenatal, like it makes sense. Like all the etymology's there.
Yeah.
We're getting to it.
So it's considered the blueprint of the psyche.
Okay.
Right. So it's your potential, both good and bad,
Nice.
for your life. Right. So each planet represents different archetypes.
Right.
And these can be separated into specific expressions, and how it is expressed and influenced is by the constellation. And
Cool.
the constellation sits behind the planets, and where it sits behind the planets in the sky is the zodiac.
Okay.
And that determines.
All right. Yeah.
How we feel and what-
Because I
what's what.
truly don't know much about this. So I'm glad you're doing this. Yeah.
Yeah. So what did Matt say?
Matt says thoughts on new UFO info. Ooh, yeah.
Ooh.
We dove into it early in the show, Matt.
A little
but
bit earlier.
that new
Life-changing.
info changed. Made my week, month, probably my next 10 years. We have a whole episode we did about reproduction vehicles and alien or UFO retrieval programs. It's episode, I think, what'd you say, 28 or 29?
To give you
I think it's
100%.
29. Yeah,
I'll tell you right now.
But dude, Matt, that's the best freaking news of all time. We finally have guaranteed, confirmed
Episode 28.
evidence that there is extraterrestrial life and
Yeah.
that it's visiting this planet, and that our government is in possession of these things. We always felt
and
that
they
it
have
was.
advanced crafts.
Yeah.
The government has their bodies.
Yeah,
has
they've got
recovered
freaking bodies.
their remains. They have their
And they've been hiding it from
interstellar.
Congress.
Yeah, yeah.
Jeez Louise.
The government's been hiding it from the government. Yeah,
Right? Yeah. There's a small little cell. Yeah.
It's crazy. Anyway,
Thanks, Matt.
Matt,
Yeah.
if you want to rewind a little bit, we do go into it, and we do literally have an entire episode about it that talks about everything this guy mentions, this whistleblower mentions. We even talk about whistleblowers in general in episode 28. It's called Shadow Government Hides Alien Tech.
Yeah. And Sarah, answer your question. News Nation actually did a face-to-face interview with this guy yesterday. So yeah, you can also find it on YouTube, the News Nation. Look up UFO retrieval program.
And it's so fascinating.
It's
and
freaking
nuts.
crazy, man.
It's awesome.
It's so cool.
But yeah, before you do that, go to episode 28 and check that out.
Yeah,
'cause
you'll learn more
We go
there.
in depth.
You'll learn more.
Yeah. So it originated in Mesopotamia with, guess which?
The Sumerians, of course.
The Babylonians.
Oh, the Babylonians. You're right. Actually,
I knew you.
It's
I
true.
knew you meant that.
Yeah.
In the second millennium BCE.
Yeah, that's true.
So from Mesopotamia, it spread to India, but it developed. It's like like how we sort of know it today. It's Western Greek. It's Western influence from the Greeks.
Okay.
And during the Hellenistic period. Do you know what the Hellenistic period is?
Alexander the Great.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
So, like, it's when Alexander the Great and Cleopatra died and the Roman Empire was born.
Right. Yeah.
So about 27 BCE.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good on you. Look at you, Mr. Well Researched.
Come on.
Mr. Well Researched. So, Egyptian and Hellenic cultures contributed to the development of astrology.
Yeah.
So the Babylonians recognized 12 constellations. They also had knowledge of 5 planets and, of course, the sun and the moon. They attributed each with various gods, right?
Of course.
Yep.
Yeah.
And they tracked their movements relative to the constellations. So this way, they explain the activities of the deities. That's the messages that they're sending to them. It's, these stars went this, planets are here. This is blank telling us, whoop-de-woo, whatever.
So would they pray to these planets?
Absolutely, they were gods.
That's
the planets were assigned to gods.
Okay.
And of course they would pray to gods.
That's interesting.
It's very interesting.
And Scorpio is one of these, right?
Yeah. So
Someone's like praying to a scorpion, pretty much. It's just
so
the
sort of
visual is interesting.
it changes, and who picked the Greeks
okay.
were the ones who sort of made it animalistic.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, everything with them.
Yeah.
It's all. These
I'll get there though. Yeah.
Okay.
But so yeah, they attributed it to various gods and whatnot. So the zodiac of Dendera is the earliest zodiac, and it's in ancient Egypt, of course. And it's dating from the first century BCE, And it's like sort of this circular device. I'm sure you've seen pictures of it. It's like this stone, like circular device with depicting the constellations on it.
Cool.
Yeah, it's super cool.
Okay.
And like super still relevant.
Yeah.
It's weird.
Yeah, isn't that crazy? All this stuff still is around.
I know. It was, and this tablet, this whatever you want to call it, was found in Hathor. It was this temple dedicated to Osiris.
Okay,
That they found in the
cool.
complex of Dendera.
I love it.
Very cool. So scientists describe it as a star map that depicts the constellations, the 5 planets that they knew of at the time, and also the solar and lunar eclipses. The Greeks added important elements to astrology as we know it today. The word zodiac itself is a Greek word that means circle of animals.
Oh, well, there you go.
There you go.
On the nose,
Yep.
right?
They also added a very important concept, the elements, no pun intended, of the elements, earth, wind, and fire.
Nice.
But according to some, there was a 5th element, earth, water, wind, and fire.
Yeah,
earth,
I know
water,
what you
wind,
meant.
fire. Yeah. And so according to some, there's a 5th element.
The 5th element.
I was waiting for you to make a 5th element movie joke. So the Greek philosopher Aristotle, some of you probably never heard of.
Oh, yeah.
I'm kidding. Called it quintessence or ether, which is something we talked about with Tesla earlier.
Etheric energy.
On a previous episode, yep. So according to him, since the 4 elements are earthly, that the stars could not be of the same element.
Okay.
Because we are earthly and that is celestial bodies.
Right.
So it must be its own element. It's this 5th element. And he even he had a name for it. He called it, let's see here. He called it
That's crazy.
non-matter. It represents
and
non-matter.
think of how right he was. Just going back to 0 point energy, we talked about in this empty space, there is energy that we can draw and use for power. He was dead on. This is real.
Dude, I know.
There is
Old
a
school
5th element,
geniuses.
if you will.
Where are the Aristotles of our day?
Yeah. Oh,
Some would argue like
they're all
Elon Musk or
influencers,
something, but like they're engineers. Like,
no,
social media.
They're doing like makeup tutorials. Yeah, it's unfortunate.
I'm trying to think of a good name for this. Charlie D'Amelio, is that her name? She's an
there you go.
astronomy genius.
Exactly. All she had to do was go that way, but she went
But she
this
chose
way.
to dance on TikTok instead.
No, I'm sure there's some genius people out there. They just work in these shadow government facilities that we don't know about.
Or in 1,000 years we'll have plenty of books about him, but we just don't know about him.
That's
talk
true.
about him because not everybody in the world knew about Aristotle in his time, right?
Yeah.
But we do have the
100%
internet
on.
now,
Yeah.
so
like even Nostradamus wasn't famous in his time, and now we still talk about him.
no, Stradamus. Early astrology wasn't about personal horoscopes.
Okay.
It was more about was more rudimentary than that.
Okay.
It was so like symbols like the shellfish, for example.
Yeah.
This would help dictate to the people what season they were in.
That's shellfish.
It's like, oh, this
Always
is
thinking about
fishing
himself.
season.
Yeah.
So
Come on, you
shellfish.
did one.
There, yeah, you get a pun too. So here's a fun fact.
Okay.
So in the 2nd century, astrologer, and this is astrologer, this was a science.
Right. 100%.
Ptolemy, depending on how you want to pronounce it, was obsessed with getting horoscopes to be as accurate as possible. So he attempted the first world map just to chart the relationship between a person's birthplace and the heavenly bodies, right?
Okay.
And this is how geography was created.
That's amazing.
Amazing.
Dude, so
Yeah.
No. Sorry, I was reading the chat, and but we had Sarah saying, Sarah saying cool thanks with the laughing faces afterwards about the things, and then Matt saying this show is going places. Thank you, Matt.
Thank you, Matt. You're the man.
But to what you just said, I think that's so interesting that
Geography was created
out of astrology.
out of astrology.
And at some point, it sounds like astrology and astronomy were one and the same. They weren't
absolutely
separated
was.
at all.
It absolutely was.
It was a science of its time.
So
Yeah.
So astronomy and absolutely just like you said, astronomy and astrology were literally one and the same.
So
and
cool,
astrology was a science of the time.
Yeah. And these guys knew what they were doing. Look at the buildings they created, and look at
my
the way
God.
they aligned everything. And
So it
there's
was
something to it.
It was such a science, and it was so important to these people
Right.
that in the 1500s, doctors weren't able to conduct surgeries until they charted the moon.
That's the best.
And they calculated its position. Then they were able to do surgery such as like bloodletting and such.
Oh, wow.
But they had to chart the moon first.
And who knows that we shouldn't still be doing that? Who
freaking knows?
I'm guessing we should probably be. There's too many screw ups.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Obviously, we're going to find astrology in great ancient texts and
Yeah.
even, like, for example, Shakespeare. A pair of star-crossed lovers take their life.
Yeah,
Whose
yeah. There you
misadventures
go.
pretty
Star
suffer,
Of
bears the
course.
prince
Yeah.
Right?
That's great. I
Dante
never
and
even thought about that as being related to
related to astrology. Because star-crossed, that means nothing unless you're
Yeah,
talking about
100%.
star-crossed astrology.
Their
they weren't
fate
meant-
was written in the
The
stars.
fate is written in the stars. Exactly. Well said, sir. So even Dante's Inferno depicts astrology. They actually depict astrologists with their heads turned backwards in this one circle of hell, walking in a
crazy.
circle.
Oh, that's
it's
great.
insane. Yeah. So yeah, like you said, they were one and the same. So
Yeah.
Galileo and Kepler
Okay.
were both scientists and astrologists
Yeah.
because it was a science. But they would be its undoing, as a matter of fact.
Aw.
So their scientific breakthroughs ended up destroying the old
Okay.
order as they knew it,
And creating
decisively splitting astronomy from astrology.
Yeah.
So now they know, okay, looking at the stars, studying the stars, that's astronomy. This charting and whatnot, that's astrology.
Yeah, I mean, for most of my life, I always felt like the more science you learned and the more you learned about the way things work scientifically, that the less the mystical could be true, the less that the ethereal
Sure,
could be true.
sure.
But it's not. In my later years here, I'm not that old, but just let's say
In the
past,
twilight of my life.
in the past several years, I've started to realize that no, science 100% proves more so than anything that a lot of these things are real.
Oh, absolutely.
They were just depicted in a certain way. I don't like dismissing any of these mystical or esoteric
Dismiss
ideas
nothing.
based on science.
Dismiss nothing.
No.
Do the research. Look a little bit into this
Yeah,
stuff.
maybe connect them.
And here's what I'll say to most people. If somebody asks you yes or no, do you believe this or that, and you don't have a lot of knowledge on it, say, I don't know. I
That's
don't have an
okay.
opinion yet.
That's
and it's
great.
okay
Yeah.
to not say, I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I actually, if you told me that, I would respect it.
the
I wouldn't
smartest
be-
people in the world are able to say, I don't know.
None of them, if
Yeah.
you ask Neil deGrasse Tyson, whoever you think is very smart,
Yeah.
you ask them 100 questions, they're not going to say, I know emphatically, yes or no,
Yeah.
no doubt. They're going to say, I'm actually not sure.
Yeah, because what happens when you say you don't know something? You're like, well, I need to go find out.
You need to, yeah.
and you go learn, and
And
then
now
you get
maybe your
smarter.
opinion changes. Maybe,
Yeah.
who knows?
I like I don't know. That's
Yeah.
that's a smart man's answer.
Which is funny to say, but it's so
Yeah.
freaking true, dude.
Connected.
I like that. Is this? Yeah, I don't know is a smart man's answer. That's great. So, in the 18th century, it was all but abandoned astrology, but it found a great revival in the 20th century. So, with the rise of spiritualism
Yeah.
and whatnot and New Age religions, Carl Jung actually started developing psychological astrology, which led to the personality-based interpretations that we get our updates on our phone to this day, right?
Yep. Okay,
so-
so it's just really been in the past 130 years or so that this has become what it is today.
Absolutely.
But it's
That personality
based
based.
deep in the history of humankind.
From the most ancient of civilizations.
Love
Yes, sir.
that, and I love that it's still around. There's got to be something to it. Everything else has changed, and as it withered and either disappeared over the ages through different civilizations, conquering this one and that. But
Yeah.
this has survived through all time.
Yeah.
That's cool.
I know, it's
I
a
like
trip.
it. Yeah.
What's Sarah saying here?
She says, "I love how open-minded you guys are."
Aw, thank you.
Yeah, you kind of have to be, right? I mean, let's be real.
Tarot Destroyer.
Yeah, there we go. We got a tarot destroyer. I like
love
it.
it. Let's go. So there are 12 zodiac signs. Each represent 30 degrees of the zodiac, which is 360 degrees in its entirety.
Okay.
And it's split into 12 equal areas. Those are our zodiac signs. For example, I'm a Virgo, which is the best of the signs, as we
Okay.
all know.
Yeah, right. My son and daughter are both
Are
Virgos.
both Vir- so you can attest to this.
Unfortunately, I have to agree.
Yeah, you have to agree.
Yeah,
We're spamming a little bit, Tarot.
I think so.
All right. So these signs are fixed in their positions to each other. So Taurus will always be next to Gemini, etc. Right.
Right.
That never changes.
Right. Makes sense.
Yeah. So there are also houses within the zodiac, and this is what I found probably the most fascinating into my research. So the houses in terms of the zodiac are within a sign and a planet.
Okay.
Okay, so each house represents something different. The first house is Aries. I actually have a photo evidence. Okay, so
there it is. Cool.
So here's the zodiac. And so the first house is Aries and Mars, and it's the self.
Yeah.
Okay. The second is Taurus and Venus. It's finances. The third is Gemini and Mercury. Is communication.
Okay.
The fourth is Cancer and the Moon. It's family. The fifth is Leo and the Sun. It's pleasure. The sixth is Virgo and Mercury, the dopest. It's routine and health. The seventh is Libra and Venus. It's partnerships.
Yeah.
And these are all, this is a very like small part of what it is.
Right. So you're kind of summing them up.
I'm summing it up because
yeah.
just like Virgo, Taurus, Leo, Gemini, they all have multiple aspects to them, right?
Okay. Yeah. Of course. Of course. We know it goes deep.
I'm not going to report them, but you guys can.
Yeah.
Unless Taro just wants to get cool and just join the chat. But
Yeah.
so there's the seventh house is Libra and Venus. It means partnerships. The eighth is Scorpio and Pluto. It's transformation.
Okay.
The ninth is Sagittarius and Jupiter. It's seeking knowledge and higher education. The 10th is Capricorn and Saturn. It's authority and reputation. By the way, in my research,
Yeah.
there's a lot of different answers for each of these houses,
Yeah.
or how
I
they're
could see that.
depicted.
I never
So-
knew they were in houses like this.
I
I've never
know
studied
that
this
was my
very
most
much.
that was the most fascinating part to me.
Yeah. This is really cool.
So those numbers, and then you have the planets, then you have the signs, then you have the depiction of what they mean.
Right.
It's really, really fascinating.
Yeah. This is cool.
And the ninth house, Sagittarius and Jupiter, is seeking knowledge and higher education. And then the 10th house is Capricorn and Saturn. It's authority and reputation.
Okay.
The 11th is Aquarius and Uranus. It's friendship. The 12th is Pisces and Neptune. It's subconscious. It's also called the house of undoing.
Ooh.
And planets in this house
Come,
apparently
mother of dragons, to the house of thy undoing.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it's apparently when you're in this house, it's very hard to read your future, very hard to determine growth and what's going to happen.
Yeah.
It's just harder to understand and read. And so if changes do happen, it will happen on a soul level more
Okay.
than on like a surface level.
That's wild, man.
I know. So you take all of these, put them together on your natal chart.
Okay.
And you'll find out what kind of person you are or could be. And
Unbelievable.
It's really fascinating.
And this wouldn't be around this long if there wasn't something.
If there wasn't
to
something
it,
to
right?
it. And
Yeah.
from work to relationships to health to finances to behavior to compatibility. We look
wild.
at astrology still to this day to help us understand and
Oh,
find
yeah.
comfort in most aspects of our life.
Oh yeah, my fiance is always pulling up her. It's
Yep.
called CoStar, I think. This app that she
They're
uses.
usually pretty accurate, dude.
Yeah.
from
when
what
she
I
reads them
found.
to me, I'm like, what?
So
Yeah.
I'll be like, dude, Jared, I met this chick.
Yeah.
She's but she's a Taurus, bro.
Yeah, I can't do it.
I know. Dude, you
That's
know
funny.
Taurus and Virgos, man.
Yeah.
And her moon is in Mercury, bro.
Oh,
Yeah.
big red
Yeah,
flag. Dude.
red flag. And Mercury, as we know, is in retrograde.
Yeah.
So
That's great.
so she can only probably eat vegetables that start with the letter G.
Yeah.
So she can eat green beans. So
that's
we're
it.
not gonna get along.
Yeah, I don't. Eat
I love
all
green
the
beans,
time.
but I can't eat them every day.
no, it'd be too much.
What's she gonna do to me?
Nah,
this is
turn
insane.
green.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's wild. Or spinach.
Spinach. What else starts with a G?
G. Grapefruit.
Grape. She can eat grapefruits.
Yeah.
I'll eat a grapefruit. Okay. So maybe we could get along.
Okay. Yeah. That's all you can have.
So I should marry her.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, just go for it, man.
That's what you're saying.
She's the one, dude.
She's the one.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Unreal.
very fascinating.
It
stuff.
is cool stuff.
So astrology, I was digging into it.
I like the
diving into it,
summary, yeah.
digging it,
Yeah.
loving it. I thought it was very fascinating. So that's roundabout what astrology is.
That's what astrology is.
So what did our friend, I can't read, Polo?
We got some Terra Destroyer 87s. We got Paula saying that Tarot Destroyer has voodoo spells. So all interesting stuff. And
Cool.
in the vein of the show, because we're talking about the ethereal, we're talking about the mystical, the esoteric. But okay, so going back to astrology, I was thinking, why would this work? why does this make sense, right? What exactly is the science behind astrology? And I was thinking, so what is astrology? It's the arrangement of celestial bodies and planetary alignments.
Yeah.
So I started looking into what science has been done behind planetary alignments. How do we know what we know about how it affects the Earth and other things in space? Couple things. So I have a video here that I want to play, but planetary alignments can affect a couple things, and we've got scientific proof to back it. It can affect magnetic fields and electromagnetic waves. So let's go into this first video. This is called, I named it Planetary Alignments, play from 149.
Okay.
This is going to give us a little base knowledge here as we scientifically prove that astrology is real.
Ooh, really?
Oh, yeah, it's real.
All right, let's see what we got going
And
on.
I can prove it.
Understand why.
when to
While the
stop.
combined gravitational tug of these planets doesn't add up to much, it's enough to influence the plasma at the sun's surface. And according to models, that's enough to cause a flip in the sun's magnetic field, resetting the cycle of solar activity every 11 years. We haven't had a memorable solar storm in a while, so this idea of solar activity might seem kind of abstract, but powerful outbursts from the sun can have a significant impact on Earth. Back in 1859, a severe solar storm wiped
This
out
crazy.
telegraph systems, and a similar
solar
storm would be very bad for our electric
Could you
grid
imagine we
today.
had one
Even
now?
relatively
People
mild
talk about
solar
that being
weather
the cause of the end of
occasionally
the
blocks
world.
radio communications or messes with satellites. So the alignment of the planets, which drives solar activity, has real effects on our lives.
So stop
but
it
other
there.
planets don't just affect us indirectly.
So check it out. So what he's basically saying is planetary alignments can actually affect the sun itself and disrupt the magnetic field around the sun. And it's not because the distance of the planets, they're so far. If they were a lot closer, it would be a bigger impact. But it's enough of an impact to disturb the magnetic field around the sun and cause different solar activity. So that basically my point here is that planetary alignments can disrupt and affect magnetic fields. Waves. Electromagnetic waves are also affected by planetary alignments. And how do we know this? In World War II, when we were sending transatlantic messages via shortwave radios, things like that, well, what radio waves are is electromagnetic waves. And there were certain times where the military realized that these messages weren't going through, or they were getting disrupted or distorted or degraded.
Okay.
So they commissioned studies into why, so that they could start sending messages during the right times.
And avoid that,
And
yeah.
avoid that problem. Because this is war. These messages, if they don't get through, could be the end of
these are
a
pertinent.
city.
Yeah, these are important.
Yeah, lives could be lost. And in those studies, they found that planetary alignments were actually disrupting the electromagnetic waves from the radios. And sometimes it would bolster the signal, making it cleaner and clearer, or degrade the signal. So we know planetary alignments, for a fact, disturb electromagnetic waves and electromagnetic fields. So what else has an electromagnetic field and operates using electromagnetic waves?
beings.
The human brain.
Yeah.
The freaking human brain has both of these things. So imagine these celestial bodies are pretty far away, but they're close enough to disrupt magnetic fields and waves.
Okay.
So imagine now, if it's able to affect the plasma on the base of the sun, then it could, in incremental ways, affect the way you actually think.
So yeah, if it can affect a radio frequency,
Exactly.
what is stopping it from affecting our brain's radio frequency?
Nothing. It would stand to reason that it does.
Right.
So the
It'd be odd if
arrangements-
it didn't, frankly.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It wouldn't make sense. So
Whoa,
so we
okay.
know that the way our brains
all right.
operate,
Yeah.
planetary alignments have an effect on it. The police in the 70s, there was the police actually did a study because they were like, why do people go crazy on full moons?
Yeah.
Why is this a thing? Why do we have so many arrests? Well, they did a study and they found.
Oh, I'm sorry. Is that a thing? You might be saying it right now.
Yeah, well, that was the question they had because they noticed just personally that there was an increase in arrests and
on full moons.
right, and aggressive behavior during full moons. And when they did the study, they did find that during full moons they were having an increase in aggression.
There literally was an increase.
Yeah, there was an increase in aggressive arrests.
freaking
There's a
way.
ton of studies out there that try to say that that this isn't conclusive, but there was enough of a difference where these guys, when they released this study in the 70s, they could show that there was an increase in aggression during those times. So why would that be? Well, gravity also affects these waves. when you get when there's a large mass near waves of any kind, those could be
course.
electromagnetic waves,
Yeah.
magnetic fields. It actually tugs the large mass will tug at these waves and
Yeah.
cause them to shift and change. Enough so that when the moon is aligned with us a certain way, the gravitational pulls change.
Well, think of the theory of relativity, right?
Right,
Even.
100%. Yeah, we stand on the ground. We're held to the ground because of the mass of the Earth, right? And the way tides work, you know how the moon can affect the tides? Well, the sun and the moon on opposite sides of the planet actually create these kind of bubbles where the tides sit. And as the planet, or as the moon and the sun move around the Earth, it changes these elliptical shapes that of the actual tugs of the gravity.
Okay.
And that's what causes high tides and low tides,
Yeah.
right? So it's doing the same thing in our minds, and it's actually changing the waves and the frequencies and how they move and how their signals are sent within the brain.
So
Yeah.
almost a wave in our brain. So if we have because you know how brain activity works. If
Yeah.
there's a thought that impacts us in a huge way, you'll see even a wave like that. So what if we have an idea where, oh, I want to kill this person, and then this starts going. Now that idea,
Right.
like a tide,
Yeah.
is being brought up. So now,
Either up or down. Exactly.
now I either want to act on it or it goes down. Maybe the positives go down.
Yep.
Perhaps on a full moon.
100%.
Depending, right?
So this is science. There are
Wow.
studies that back
That's a
all of this
freaking
up.
trip.
Yeah,
Okay.
we're playing with fields and waves, gravity. This is all scientifically backed.
Electromagnetism.
100%.
Yeah.
So yes, I do. So we have enough evidence here, I think, to show that based on where the planets are, it can affect behavior. There was a study done with mice where they would track the mice's behavior through their life cycle based on when they were born. If they were born closer to the winter
They
solstice,
do a natal chart basically
exactly,
for
mice.
freaking
And they
test
They were
rats?
able to, and they did this on a quicker, faster scale. They would recreate the conditions of the winter solstice and the summer solstice during the life cycle of these mice. And when they were born.
recreate like physically in
like
in
in a lab.
temperature and whatnot?
Everything.
Oh,
yeah.
what the hell?
Yeah. And this study showed that when mice were born during the winter solstice, they would be more apt to certain types of behaviors or certain type of mental
The ones
conditions.
depicted on like the zodiac.
100% the same.
Wow.
And vice versa with the summer solstice. So we've got a lot of science to show that this stuff 100%
Relates.
works.
Yeah.
This isn't some
Wow.
crazy stuff here that astronomy and astrology might not be the same now, but there is science to back both. Astrology is not fringe. It is not guesswork. It is actually based on science from what I found.
Yeah.
Very cool.
There's stuff there.
Yeah.
There's evidence to
Right.
say this can impact us.
100%.
So where the stars and the planets are aligned can in fact impact us.
Impact our thoughts, our brain waves, and yes, there's also electrical signals throughout your body.
So,
you could feel certain ways.
Absolutely,
it could change how
of
you
course there is.
feel. Yeah.
So you're actually giving credence to the fact that astrology could in fact be real, basically.
Yeah. And these studies
Okay.
show it too.
Okay.
So I thought that was interesting.
dig it.
So I 100% think this is provable.
Provable.
Yay!
That's so cool.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I
Sarah
was not
even said
expecting.
that's so cool.
Yeah,
I
I wasn't
dig
expecting
that.
to find so much scientific evidence here, but there's a ton of it.
Jeez Louise. That's insane.
Yeah.
So I actually want to dive in to tarot now.
Yeah.
But before that, I think I got a little idea.
Yeah.
So I'm going to I think we call our news correspondent. Why don't we do a little news
Yay!
break?
Let's do the news, man. That's a good little way to break up these two subjects.
I
I'm
think so. So talk to
excited.
the audience.
In case you're joining us recently, we're talking astrology, we're talking tarot. Later in the show, after we go over what tarot is and how it works, we're going to have live tarot readings on the show in the chat. If you have questions, you can put them up in the chat there and you will get answers. We had people submitting questions to us before the show. Those questions are going to be answered here in the later part of the show. So stick around with us. We got a lot of good stuff going on. If you're not subscribed to the channel, I know this stuff's annoying to hear all the time, but I promise you, it just helps us a lot. So we got to say it. Please hit the like button. Please subscribe. It's a big help to us, and we appreciate it here at the show.
Yeah, well said. I love it.
Yeah.
So if you guys are ready, We got
I'm
something
ready.
for you.
Oh, I'm ready. Yes. Us. We have our man on the ground now. We have our correspondent in the field.
So, ladies and gentlemen, we have the one, the only, Les on the line. Les, you
Yay.
there, sir?
I am here.
Yay!
Welcome to the show, sir.
Yay.
Welcome to the show.
Well, thank you.
Absolutely. So we're talking.
Deadline.
We're
May
talking.
4th.
May, what's that?
I don't know.
What'd you
I was
say?
doing a deadline for you.
Oh.
Nice to be
So-
here with you guys.
Good to have you always, man.
Yeah, absolutely. So we're talking astrology. We're talking
Yeah.
tarot. We're talking future, past, present. We're talking science. We're talking a bunch of stuff, but we don't need to be. We could talk about other stuff. What do you got going on for us, Les?
Deadline, May 4th, 1988. New York Times headline: White House confirms the Reagans follow astrology.
Oh, that's funny.
No way.
Yeah.
I thought I'd line up with you guys for tonight.
Oh, that's cool.
So
I dig it.
Yeah.
just an interesting story. I mean, this is the President of the United States, very well loved and respected, as you know.
Yeah.
But the headline on May 4th, 1988 in the New York Times is the Reagans were following astrology.
Oh, that's
And that was seen as a negative?
Well, they couldn't, back then, they certainly could not say they were. It
Sure.
was, I mean,
Oh, that's probably
you
true.
couldn't imagine making critical decisions for
Based on
future of
the
country.
moon and where
Right.
the planets
you would
were.
seem unstable or strange or
Sure,
yeah,
sure.
okay,
Unstable.
Oh,
But
that makes
back
total
then,
sense.
so Joan Quigley, who was a San Francisco astrologer, helped determine Ronald Reagan's schedule and claims to have convinced him to soften his stance on the Soviet Union. So this is really
Oh, so
interesting.
he was making decisions
so what
with
happened
this.
is, so Nancy Reagan began consulting with Quigley back after the 1981 assassination attempt on her husband. She wanted to keep him safe.
Yeah.
And the way she found out about Quigley is that Merv Griffin, who was a famous entertainer, had a talk show back then.
Mhm.
He actually invented Jeopardy, if you guys didn't know that.
What? I did not know that.
Oh, I didn't know that.
That's so
Yeah,
funny.
and
I
his
thought it
wife,
was-
his wife one day said to him, she gave him the answer and said, "What's the question?" And that's how they started the show.
How
But,
cool.
What?
I always thought it was the old host that's passed
Alec
away.
Trebek?
Yeah, I thought he invented it. Honestly.
I know, poor Alex. But Merv Griffin told Nancy Reagan that Quigley had predicted the day the president was shot. There was going to be a dangerous day for him.
Oh shit! I didn't know that was a
So-
thing.
Neither did I.
That's
So
cool.
she
man.
reached
Of course,
out,
that's why he believed in
and
astrology.
Right, yeah, it
They
works.
kept it completely secret, but
Yeah.
White House Chief of Staff Don Regan, not Reagan, Regan, who blamed the First Lady for his being fired, released the information to embarrass them.
Oh. Wow.
Oh, wow. Okay,
Yeah.
so this was a slight.
So
This was
Reagan said that almost every major move and decisions that the Reagans made during his time as Chief of Staff was cleared in advance with some woman in San Francisco who drew
with
up
an
horoscopes.
astrologist.
Oh,
my
wow.
God.
That's actually interesting.
That is
I
such
had
a
no
trip.
idea. That's cool.
The president of
back
the
then, of course.
United
Yeah.
States.
I know,
Our
right?
highest office.
And I remember this very well.
Very
Back
powerful.
then, of course, Nancy and Ronald denied any policy decisions were based on astrology.
Of course.
Yeah.
As they.
But,
As it makes
but in
sense.
her memoir, Quigley told a different story. She said that before Reagan's 1985 summit with Soviet Union leader Mikhail Gorbachev in Geneva, pardon me, Quigley said she advised Nancy that Ronnie's evil empire attitude has to go. You guys wouldn't remember this, but that's how he considered that Russia was the evil empire.
Okay.
And that
Wow.
Gorbachev's, and Diana, when she's on here, will probably confirm this, but that Gorbachev's Aquarian planet is in such harmony with Ronnie's, you'll see they share a vision. And she told that to the First Lady. And of course, that was the beginning of the tearing down of the Berlin Wall.
1989 Berlin Wall fall.
So
Fall of the
astrology has
Berlin
affected
Wall.
our history in a huge,
freaking way.
way.
The fall of the Berlin
Isn't that
Wall.
Crazy. Isn't that insane?
That's
Yes, it is.
insane,
But
man.
because he was very hawkish. He was very, that evil empire. And then he
Yeah.
mellowed and, said, Mr. Gorbachev, tear down that wall. And
And
there we
that's
go.
why. Oh my god.
Based on her
That's
recommendation.
cool, man. That's a
Holy
great,
freaking
that's a great little
cow.
fact, a little story there.
That's
Yeah,
so
that's my
fascinating.
little contribution to your astrology episode. I do have a few jokes. As is
Oh,
my-
yes. Let's freaking go.
So the first one is, listen, like most people born under the sign of Sagittarius like me, I don't believe in astrology.
That's great.
Of course.
Perfect.
Okay. And the next one is it's a little risque, but what the hell?
Let's
so
do it.
during a routine medical check, John asked his doctor, "Do you think I'll live long and have a healthy life?" The doctor said, "I doubt it. Mercury is in Uranus right now." and John said, "Wait, I don't go for any of that astrology nonsense." So the doctor said,
The
"Neither do
thermometer.
I.
Yeah.
My thermometer just broke in your ass."
Yeah. Saw it coming,
That's
still
a good
loved it.
one, man.
Yeah, you did see it coming.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, guys. Always a pleasure. I can't wait to hear the tarot card reads. I'll be
Yeah.
listening in.
I know.
I'm
These are going to be
excited.
so much fun.
Yeah,
They're going to be
thanks for
super
tuning in.
fascinating.
Yeah, that'll be great. And if you have any
Great talking
questions,
to you
throw them in
guys.
there. Great talking to you.
Always a pleasure.
Yeah.
Always a pleasure, sir. Thank you so very much.
All right.
All right, now. Bye.
Sure.
Have a good night. Man on the ground, please
Man
stay
on the
safe. He's going back to wherever he's going.
Yeah.
Back to the show, I guess.
Back to the show. No. Well, I was just gonna say I had something going because I was just gonna say if you loved astrology,
Yeah.
because we got tarot coming,
I
baby.
love it, man.
We got tarot.
It's my
coming.
favorite one.
I know. Well, if that's your favorite one,
Go for it.
threw you off there.
What's
If that's your favorite, then it must be the fucking good.
I wasn't expecting that one either.
Yeah, I got you. See.
Okay, you got me.
So, tarot. Let's
Yes.
jump in.
Cool. We got cat lovers saying, "Wow, I'm using that next time someone makes fun of me when I ask what their birthday is. That's the best." Yeah, now you know. You got some scientific
Exactly.
facts to back you up.
And you know what else? Oh, hey guys, what's up?
Yay!
She said, "Hey guys." I don't know what I said.
Yeah.
She said, "Hey guys, what's up? Wish I was there for this episode.
Princess making an appearance. We miss you,
know, miss
Princess.
you.
Yeah.
Miss you." And
Thanks for
speaking of
jumping
missing things,
Yeah.
nope, wrong one. We there's a positive one here. Yeah, there it is. We don't want you to miss out on more videos and content, guys.
Right.
So make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you leave a fun, cool, dope comment, and absolutely make sure you check out the Patreon page because we got very cool tiers. It's not very pricey. It's very reasonable, and you basically choose what tier you want, and that's what benefits you get, baby. And we got a lot of cool stuff on there. We got exclusive content. We got free stuff. We got a lot of stuff. Go check it out. I'm not going to tell you more about it. You'll see it for yourselves.
Princess, you are missed. Yes,
You are
Kat
missed.
says.
You are
And
missed.
yes, we do miss you, Princess.
We do. So,
Glad
this
you're
is
here for this episode.
absolutely,
This is
'cause this is a
totally
perfect
your
episode
stuff.
for you.
Yeah, this is the kind of thing you like.
So let's jump into tarot. What do you say?
I love it, man. I'm ready. This is
Cool.
gonna be freaking great.
So this is gonna get.
We're getting to it, guys. We're ramping to it.
We're ramping up,
Yep.
baby. So tarot.
Yeah.
It was created in the 1940s in Italy, as a matter of fact. Yeah,
That makes sense.
it does. So though some believe it found its roots earlier in the century,
Right.
Most say 1940s and to 50s.
Yeah, because I know I heard something about it being like starting as like a game in the 1700s.
Yeah.
But it's not the tarot we know today. It was a completely different like pictographs. It was a different thing.
Yep.
But that's like kind of the origins of it. I heard
So
something like that.
yeah, originally it was like a deck made for games, just like playing cards as we know it today.
There you go. Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
Something like that.
The wealthy would have their own tarot cards commissioned
Cool.
to represent their families. Like you would be the fool, I would be the king, stuff like that.
Left foot.
Yeah. So and they'd have this amazing artwork that they'd have
Yeah.
done, and that's actually a lot of the artwork is still prevalent in modern decks. Just that style. Right?
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Some are like Yu-Gi-Oh characters and stuff, of course, but they have cool ones. That old school look. So when did tarot become like divine guidance
Okay.
as opposed to playing bridge?
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
So around the 18th century is when cards became more about reading energies and predicting futures in a sense, right? So the true turning point was in 1781, which is something you're talking about.
Oh, okay.
A French clergyman wrote a paper called, let me quote here, "The Primitive World Analyzed and Compared to the Modern World."
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah, and that's explaining that he believed that tarot cards had a link to Egyptian mysticism and gods,
I believe it.
which sort of
These guys
goes
knew
back
what was
to our
up,
astrology
man.
thing.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
So he even said that and this is sort of a bold claim on his part, but he even said that the Catholic Church not only knew about tarot cards and their power,
Okay.
but were trying to keep it a secret.
I hate that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Remember we talked about things you hate the most, and up there is
Suppressing
technology,
kittens, ideas, or
suppressing
not
technology.
kittens. I
Yeah,
hate
kittens,
that, no.
suppressing technology, and clowns.
We have someone named Cat Lover here. You're gonna make her think I hate cats.
You hate.
It's not
cats.
a thing.
You hate
It's not
people
true.
that nickname themselves online cat lover. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
So in 1791, Columbus sailed the ocean one.
Oh yeah. I heard something like that.
Yeah, no. So in 1971, the first deck was released specifically for divination.
Okay. We're getting somewhere.
We're getting there.
Okay.
So released by French occultist Jean-Baptiste Alarit, but he went by the name.
Come here. Let me read your future. I can tell you all the things. Come here.
What would you tell me about?
I would tell you how gorgeous you look in the moonlight tonight.
But it is midday.
Don't worry about that. I tell you all the things.
Tell me these things.
I am Jean Baptiste. Come on,
Well,
listen to my name.
Well,
you
me
know
and my
I'm
family
wonderful.
eat tonight.
I don't care about that. I just want to come with me. Just come here.
You are literally
You know what
just
this makes me think of?
cared about sex.
You remember in Ghostbusters where he's doing the cards?
Of course is what you thought.
Yeah, and that's what. And
And
so
he
the
just
girl's getting them
blesses
all
the
wrong,
guy every
but
time,
he's
yeah.
pretending she's getting them all right, and he's like,
Yeah.
"You are
You.
truly
Yeah.
magnificent. You've got a gift."
And then he'd get it right.
Yeah, he kept. He was actually good at it.
Yeah.
That was the best.
He's actually like a
yeah. Gosh, what a
psychic.
good movie, man.
the best.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry. Go ahead.
No, you're good.
That was my Jean Baptiste.
So yeah, Jean-Baptiste Alarit went by the name.
What up, McKenna? Welcome back.
McKenna, the homie. There
Yep.
she is. So he went by the name Atea. Atea.
Oh shoot! I would have used that if I knew.
Atea. Yeah, I know. I wish I got to that part.
Yeah.
So, well, you could restart. Ready? Just say the first.
I am a Thea. I tell you everything.
You're telling me my future.
You come with me, I tell you everything.
We are both a Mario.
You are
Maybe I'm just a
beautiful-
Mario.
You are like a fine wine with a good piece of crostini.
Oh, I thought you're okay. That's with a good piece of Christine. I thought you were gonna say like be sweet, but then like crass. Like
Yeah,
you
but I
are
didn't
like a
wanna go
fine
there.
wine with
Yeah.
a sweet ass.
No, I
like wait,
just
what?
didn't want to go there.
But no, but it's the combining of the two.
Right,
that's
right. I
funny.
get it.
Yeah.
Yeah. The crostini is just as good.
So McKenna, we have neither of us. We have somebody named Diana who is going to be reading the tarot.
Oh yeah, you're almost right. We're almost
We're
there.
getting there. And
So good
McKenna,
timing.
if you have a question, throw it in the chat, and we'll make sure we get to it.
Yep.
We'll
Once,
try our
once
best.
we
We'll
start
try
doing
our
the
best.
ratings, yeah, start putting them in the chat.
So we're just going to lay down the groundwork, then we're going to jump into the fun readings. So let's get through this groundwork then,
Go
shall
for
we?
it, yeah.
So so he was known as the first tarot reader.
Okay.
Soon tarot readings became popular at wealthy family parties and gatherings and such. Of course, it's always the wealthy. So that's when they came. That's where they came from, as we know them today.
Right.
These
These mystical cards that can tell
Yes.
you your future and
Exactly.
the status of your love life and all that.
precisely.
Gotcha.
So a tarot card deck, there are 78 cards total.
Whew.
And they're divided into two separate groups.
Okay.
These two groups are there's 22 major arcana cards and 56 minor arcana cards. So minor arcana are further divided into 16 tarot court cards.
Okay.
And 40 numbered cards.
Oh,
Okay.
jeez Louise.
So categorized into 4 suits.
Okay.
I know.
So you really got to know what you're
You
doing.
gotta
to
know
read
what
this
you're doing.
stuff. Yeah.
So I'm even go through an example in a minute.
Okay.
So there's the 4 suits are the cups, the swords, the pentacles, and the wands.
Yeah.
And so major arcana cards carry deep meaning, such as changing and life lessons and important stuff.
Right,
Okay?
exactly, yeah.
Okay, you get it.
The things to live your life by.
Sure. Minor arcana cards represent challenges we face in our everyday lives, right?
Okay.
On the day-to-day basis stuff, the day-to-day stuff.
Yeah.
And so they're more temporary than major arcana cards
Uh-huh.
are.
Okay.
So each suit also carries with it a distinct energy. So the suit of wands is connected to fire, and that connects to feelings of brightness, passion, new concepts, right?
I've searched the cosmos for 4 million different outcomes for this, and I've only found one where we win.
Wand.
Only one.
The suit. I don't even know what to do with that. I thought you could maybe say
Nothing you could do with it.
yeah, maybe
Shot and missed.
Maybe you talk about Wanda.
Maxa.
Moff.
No, I'm sorry. I won't
That
anymore.
was a miss too. So the suit of
Wait,
pentacles.
one more time. Okay.
There you go. That was the winner.
That's
That was
the
actually the
one.
winner.
I had to do that one.
That was the winner.
Yeah.
So the suit of pentacles is more about like worldly
Ooh,
possessions.
pentacles. Yeah.
The only thing you care about. So money, finances, career. I'm just kidding. The suit of cups is inward relating.
Okay.
So represents emotion and intuition and your deep desire to murder kittens.
The only thing you care about.
Yeah. I didn't hear what you said, but
Oh shit. Go
only
for it.
something you care about.
Yeah, because you said I cared about the other one, so I said this.
Oh
is the one
yeah,
you
I got
care
it.
about.
Yeah, I got it. Damn, and I said the murder cast one.
Yeah, that's
Shoot.
why it was great.
Okay. So and then the suit of swords portray the inner power, actions, ideas, decision making, and any way of communicating. Right.
Okay, I like the sword. So far, the swords are my favorite.
The swords are my favorite too.
I like the swords.
It's funny. I'm gonna say the wands are my favorite. Come on now. The cups are my favorite. Give me a break.
The Holy Grail is pretty cool.
That's a good cup.
Yeah.
The pentacles. I mean, that's sort of cool too.
They're fun. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
So the tarot readings.
okay. Ooh, here we go.
Tarot can be laid out in different ways, and each position assigns different meanings to the cards, right? So the most common is the 3-card cluster, and that's what Diana will be doing today.
Yes.
It's called the 3-card cluster. It's also known as
Okay.
the 3-card spread. Okay. So here's what you do. You take the deck and you shuffle it.
That's
Okay?
shuffling. Okay.
That's the
I
sound
thought
of
you were
shuffling.
calling somebody.
Here, bird, here.
Yeah.
Wanda, my bird.
One more time.
So there's actually a bird reference in one of the questions that was submitted, oddly enough.
Good.
What did McKenna say?
She says each card is represented by an astrological sign
Yes.
ruled by the planets. What do you think we were doing? We
Related
did a little
to astrology,
We did a little tarot.
baby.
We're
Thank you,
doing it.
McKenna.
McKenna knows. See, she's right here. We're right
So
here.
now I'm
We're
going to
right
skip
there.
that part. I don't even got to mention it.
Yeah.
Because she did.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Welcome to. Thank you for adding to the show.
Adding to the
McKenna.
show,
Yeah.
baby. So after shuffling, I pick 3 cards. Lay them out.
Okay.
So actually shuffling and laying them out sound the same. Okay. And then, for example, so let's say first, the first card is past, the middle is present,
Okay.
and the last one is past again. No, it's future.
Okay.
Okay.
I was gonna say, wow, what a weird abstract way to do this.
Yeah, right. No, it's past, present, and future.
Okay, that makes more
And
sense.
for example, let's say I was asking about my career.
Okay.
And the first card pulled was the Tower in the past position.
Uh-oh.
The second card pulled was the Death.
Oh no, I know
In the
that
present
one can't
position.
be good.
Who knows? Death might be good.
Oh, okay.
sometimes. Full circle, baby.
Yep.
See, that's what we did. This was planned. This was by design.
Yeah. It was by design. I
Sherlock
love
Holmes
it, man.
too. Shadow, Game of
Yeah,
Shadows.
we got to do a Marvel Minute of him. We got to do a Sherlock takeover. But sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I like it.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that on the production calls. So now I forgot what I was saying. Oh yeah, so let's say I pulled the Tower for my past,
Yep.
the Death for my present, and the
Okay.
Queen of Pentacles for the future position.
Got it.
And they're all right side up. None of them are reversed or upside down.
Okay.
Okay. So the Tower card means change,
Okay.
and so probably I would feel a lot of change and conflict at my work if my question was about my career.
Okay,
Right.
okay.
Fascinating stuff.
Yeah, it is.
And the Death card
Yeah.
is symbolic of change, because in this scenario, it would represent it's in the present position. It would mean a pattern at my job is changing or coming to an end.
Yeah.
Okay. And then the Queen of Pentacles being in the future position represents success and prosperity in there.
Nice. Okay.
Right.
Things
So
are looking
in
good
this,
for you.
yeah, in this right, all right.
Wow.
So in this context, it would probably mean that success may be on my horizon after a period of chaos or change.
Okay.
Okay. So cards can also take on different meaning when they're in the reverse position.
Uh-oh.
So, for example, if the Queen of Pentacles was in the reverse position, that would mean failure and lack of control.
Uh-oh.
And this is rough. This is
Right.
a
Like
layman trying
yeah,
to.
you're giving like
all
a
this stuff.
summary. Yeah,
Yeah, summary. Just trying to get you guys so you understand the mindset here.
Wow.
And then if the Tower, I'm sorry, let's do Death in the between. So if the Death card was reversed, it would mean slow change or stagnation. Okay?
Okay.
Because it's a card that represents change for the most part. You flip it upside down, stagnation.
Okay, so stagnation. That
So yeah,
makes sense.
and if the Tower card was reversed, it would symbolize like a fear of change. Diana's listening to this like he doesn't fucking know what he's talking about.
I better get in there.
Yeah,
soon.
I better hop in real quick.
Yeah.
So this is totally a looser interpretation.
Of
This is
course,
me,
of course.
You know, not knowing, and this is going based off that 3-card spread.
Right.
But there's a bunch of ways to do it. So that's sort of tarot in a quick little nutshell.
I like it.
Tied up in a pretty little bow just for
Nice.
McKenna,
I do
Cat
feel
Lover,
like
Sarah, and everybody. Michael, Domino, all of y'all.
It helped my expectations,
TBRN.
right? Because now I kind of know what I'm looking for. I kind of understand what she's going to be doing now, whereas before
Exactly.
I was going in blind.
So you'd see three
Thank
cards,
you.
be like,
Yeah.
well, what's going on here?
Right.
But now you know,
I don't need to
okay,
worry.
past, present, future, whoop-de-whoop-de-woo, weep-de-weep-de-wee. Blah, say blah.
So before we get to the live tarot readings, I wanted to talk about why I think tarot actually would work. I have you always get up when I need you. It's okay. I got a couple theories, and there is some science here, surprisingly, to tarot. So I was thinking about what tarot really is, and it's archetypal pictures. These are pictures that kind of give you, that sum up something specific, that when we see it, we understand what it is. So I was thinking about symbols and consciousness and the power of symbols. So when you are ready, I'd like you to share a picture with the folks out there.
You're so good at your job, buddy. What can I say?
Hey, that is
You're
what
good
it
at
is.
your job. Can I just say,
Yeah.
without you getting upset,
No?
that I appreciate you.
Oh, okay. I won't get upset about that.
It was a red herring.
Okay.
Okay, so what do we got?
So yeah,
here?
this picture here, this is emblems of belief.
Quick, LOL. TBRM, you know what? I don't know what she's.
So we
referring to.
have Cat Lover saying death
Good
doesn't
quick
always mean something bad. It
No.
could be good, a good card actually, depending on
Absolutely.
the following cards. She also adds that swords popping up a lot might not be the best, but I know y'all love the swords.
Yeah.
We love the.
Well,
the
you
wrong
said it was your
card.
favorite.
Yeah.
TBRM, God love you.
Yep, and McKenna says what you did was a great, good, quick summary, and TBRM added quick. I thought it was
Wow.
concise. I thought it was concise.
That was very concise. I cut out half of my
Yeah,
details.
but show this.
Because McKenna mentioned
before,
a lot of it,
they
which was
forget
good.
what I'm talking about.
which was really good. All right.
Yeah.
Forget you guys.
No, you were fine.
You know what?
It's not a video. Oh. Yeah, but we can watch this after. But so yeah, it's
So
a
guys,
picture.
check it out. Look at this. Hold on.
There it is.
Bada boom. Your boy's got.
So to make my point about why tarot might actually work, so I'm putting up symbols here that all of us have probably seen before. These are religious symbols. Some of them are very ancient. Some of them are, fairly recent. By that I mean within the last several hundred years.
Okay.
A few centuries.
Recent.
But symbols have power. There is power in symbols.
Absolutely right.
Yeah, and who gives these symbols power?
We do.
We do. There's been scientific studies showing that consciousness and our energy as human beings can affect the environment around us. To give you an example, you ever walked into a room and you could just feel that somebody was upset?
Yep.
That is you picking up on the energy of the room.
You walk
Or-
into your friend's house, you could tell he was fighting with his girlfriend, or she was. fighting with
Something's
his
not
girlfriend.
right, yeah.
You could pick up on these energies like a
Yeah.
sixth sense type of thing.
Exactly.
Absolutely. Yeah.
You can feel the energy. So the
Sure.
person putting off that energy and you're picking it up. Our brains are like antennas. It's not one way, right? They pick things up and they send
and they
things out.
send out.
So you walk into a room, you know somebody's upset just by the feeling of the room, or
Yeah.
you walk into a room and the energy's light, and you feel better being around certain people.
Yep.
They haven't even said anything yet,
Yeah.
but you're already excited to
Meeting
see 'em.
someone for the first time, you're like, they have
It's
a
like
good
I've known you
energy.
forever. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, yeah.
So these energies, so we can put our energies physically out there, and we can put them into symbols. There were studies done with random number generators where they would set up these random number generators around the world in stadiums where there would be like big, football games or
Sure.
big concerts.
Football.
And they would see how the number generators, normally just showing randoms, would start to react to the people's energy when they were really excited. And everybody was, excited about somebody scoring a goal.
Yeah.
The number generators would start to show patterns, meaning it was being affected by the energy of the people there. They also did this.
I'm sorry, I'm not understanding. The number generator
Yeah.
is a device that they placed in
A computer running a program that's just spitting out random numbers over
just
and
spitting
over.
out random numbers.
That's it. They're always
So how
random.
is it influenced by people?
Because the people's energy is actually causing patterns in the numbers being
In
generated.
a random number generator.
Exactly. They stop becoming random. they start creating
4,
patterns.
4, 4,
Right.
4, 4, 4,
Right.
4, 3, 4, 3, 4, 3.
Yep, and different patterns that repeat.
I did an example of a pattern.
Yeah, it's good.
2,
Yeah.
3, 9. 2, 3, 9.
Stuff like that. So whereas before these number generators were just generating random numbers, now they're starting to be patterns, meaning it's the only thing that's changed is the energy of the crowd. And it had a direct effect on this machine.
That's a trap.
They did this individually. They'd have people walk into a room and stare at a random number generator that's just generating random numbers and say, make it create a pattern with just thinking about it.
No.
And people would sit there and think about it, and after a few minutes, it would stop being random. It would start creating patterns
No
or generating
way.
specific numbers being asked of them to
Wait,
think of.
so like I want
Yeah.
a 6 to pop up?
Right, and it would be like 6 every few numbers now instead
Really?
of
Instead
random.
of every 200 or
Right.
whatever, yeah.
As it should
Weird.
be. So we know scientifically that we can affect the environment around us.
Okay.
We know that even electrons, when they did those experiments where they fire electrons and by measuring them, they change their behavior. So us as quantum
Yes,
beings,
them being observed
100%
changes their behavior,
What
which is
is
so
that about?
fascinating.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Like they know they're being watched. Like it's so freaking weird.
That's freaking weird.
Yeah.
So we know as quantum beings, human beings, we are quantum beings. In quantum mechanics, we are considered quantum beings. We can affect the environment around us, and we can affect the energy in the room. So, bringing it back to symbols, if millions of people around the world look at the cross and believe that this represents the highest good in the universe, then that symbol's going to have that
it's gonna
power.
carry some weight.
Right.
now. Yeah.
So let's say now we're sitting down with a tarot reader and there's a deck with a bunch of archetypal pictures that represent specific themes.
I get you.
Your energy and the reader's energy will now affect the order of these cards, as we know with random number generators, right? It's not going to be random because we're involved. We have now affected the order of these cards and how they're going to come out just by being present. They ask you, think about what you want to know.
Yes.
And by thinking about it, just like thinking about a random number, it'll pop up.
This is why Diana from
Yeah.
another state
Yeah.
can pick up these people's questions.
Yeah.
Because this is them putting their thought and
Oh yeah.
Heart
All
into it.
points in the universe are connected.
they're like, okay,
Yeah.
I want to know if my girlfriend, blah, blah, blah.
Yes.
So this is them thinking, and she picks up on this.
100%. Distance does not matter. In this universe, we've learned that all points in the universe are connected. That there is not everybody believes in this, and this is not scientific, but people believe that there is like this central database of information that's out there that we all have the ability to tap into.
Yeah.
So distance doesn't matter. And we know with quantum mechanics that all points in the universe are connected. I feel like if you're sitting there with a reader and your energy's there and their energy's there and you know what you want because you're asking the questions, that it'll affect the order of the deck.
Les said Schrodinger's cat.
Exactly. The Schrodinger equation and the Schrodinger cat example is hilarious.
Very
the cat is
clever, 'cause
both
the
dead
cat-
and alive
Yeah.
simultaneously.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Because
Right.
you don't see what's in the box. It could be 1,000 cats. It could
Right.
be not even a cat. It could be dead or alive. Yeah.
Right. Just to add some color to that comment.
To what that means. But it's
also-
clever because we're talking about cat lover and
Yeah, that's funny.
so there's a lot.
Yeah.
It's layered.
Also, these archetypal pictures now. These pictures we know, and we've imbued them with some sort of power, some sort of
Absolutely.
energy and meaning. And we've been doing it for how many years?
Even the swastika in a negative way,
yeah.
right?
It had a negative connotation after the Nazis. Before that, it had a peaceful
Before it meant
connotation.
peace, yeah, and prosperity
But
and
now, when you see it, what do you feel?
Negative.
What did they used to feel before? Exactly. That's such
It
a
looks
great example.
gross, yeah.
That's the perfect example. There's something wrong with it now because of the energy that's been imbued in. But whereas before, people would see that and feel peace. So the same with these pictures on these cards. We know what they're meant to mean because of the pictures are, they have their own kind of energy to them, right? And now the order's been affected. Which ones come out are being affected by you. And those pictures that we've given power now can relate back to meaning. So I believe there is some science to back this up. And just based on those random number generators, that maybe that's why the deck ends up being stacked the way it is. So that's my scientific explanation for tarot.
I dig that.
Cool.
That's so, yeah. So, it makes sense,
It
dude.
does,
Which is
strangely
crazy,
enough,
but
it
I
makes
love
sense.
it.
Yeah.
Because diving into this subject,
Yeah.
and a lot of the times there's stuff like when we did combatants, MMA, I know a lot about MMA. There's,
Yeah.
when we did shadow government. Like, there's a lot of conspiracy and stuff that you know about. So this, we were sort of going in pretty fresh.
Agreed. Yeah,
And
this isn't something I knew a lot about.
No, I know your fiance knows quite a bit.
Oh yeah, she can read tarot. Yeah,
she reads tarot cards. Yeah,
yeah, she's
so she knows quite a bit. So
Yeah.
it's so freaking cool to be able to jump in and be fresh and be like, what is this nonsense?
Yeah.
Wait, just got my reading. Holy moly!
Right.
Wait, looking into it now, hearing you saying this actually relates, and here's scientifically why. I'm like, oh, dude.
Yeah. So let's get into it.
I'd love to. So let's do some calls. The chat's going off.
Cool.
Digging it. So I think we're almost ready for Diana. If you want to
Yeah.
start reading off some of
Sure.
jump that up.
Yeah, for sure.
Reading off some of those comments while I get in contact with our resident reader.
Yeah. So McKenna came to had your back on this. She said tarot has a lot of details and there's a lot more to it. It would be hours to fully explain. Diana?
Yeah, which one?
You can't see it?
Oh, you named it.
Yeah.
Good job, buddy.
And then TBRM sent hearts. Good. Our audience is so good to each other. Then Les brought up the Schrodinger's cat when I was talking about kind of the quantum mechanics of it all. Felicity said, you told her ass, McKenna. Talking about TBRM with a laughing face.
Love it.
Sarah says, we imbue symbols with energy every day, with texting too, and writing in general.
Oh,
so,
shit.
yeah, Sarah agrees. McKenna says, Sarah, great
Nice.
point. Les came in, randomizing the order of archetypal symbols is subject to the energetic effects you're talking about. So there we go. As we talked about the energetic effects of the universe and the planetary alignments, Les is saying, he agrees. And then we have Sarah putting a heart up. So I think everybody's ready. So what we're going to do now, we're going to get our tarot reader on and we're going to do this thing live. So guys, if you do have questions, after we do the introduction with our reader, she's going to start to answer some questions. Feel free to put your own questions in the chat and we'll try to get to all of them if we can. And we're ready to rock.
All right. So we have the resident, beautiful, amazing Diana on the line. Diana, you there, my dear?
Welcome to the show.
Yes, I am.
Yay.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. So we're all so excited. We've been gearing up for this part of the show, and now we're ready to dive in, baby. So we do have some questions that were submitted to you, Diana. But before we get to that, if you don't mind, if you would be so kind, would you just sort of lay out your credentials a little bit and your sort of history with tarot and how you got into it? And
Absolutely.
that'd be great.
All right. So I got into tarot because a friend of mine saw that I was very sensitive and that I was picking things up. And when I was about 18 years old, he bought me my first tarot cards.
Okay.
Nice.
And I didn't really, play with them. To me, it didn't make sense. But through the years and over the years, I saw they actually did work. I've been doing them for a very long time. And as you know, Cameron, I did a little reading for you yesterday.
You did. It was a trip.
Yep. And so...
Very accurate. It blew my mind, actually.
Yeah.
It blew my mind.
Yeah. So I also get paid to do this. Sometimes they hire me at parties or events. And this one particular night, I had 250 people that I read in about 4 hours.
Oh, goodness.
And then, there's a picture. And that was the night, at the end of that event, a woman came over and she says, do my cards. She was a little tipsy. And I said, okay, I'll do your cards.
Okay.
And all of a sudden, I felt like the sadness. And when I pulled her cards, I saw a young man. And I felt almost suicidal.
Oh, my goodness.
And I asked her, I said, do you have a son? She says, I have two. I said, well, the one with the dark hair. Oh, yeah, he's doing great. He moved to Manhattan. And I looked at her and I said, no, he's not. I said, please listen to me. He doesn't need advice right now. He needs mommy.
Wow.
And she said, what?
Yeah.
I said, no, he needs mommy. And she said, okay, and that was it. So the next year, they hired me back to do the same event.
Sure.
And this woman makes a beeline to me, and she says, "I didn't know, and thank you." He had just lost his girlfriend and his job and his apartment. And so it's validation, and that's
So
important.
was he like suicidal? Because that was the feeling you were picking up. Was he like at that point?
I just felt it came through me. It was like an energy coming above my head.
When
and
she
then
came
through
back
me.
the next year, did she say that he was in a bad spot, like what he to the point where he had
She told
suicidal
me that.
thoughts? Wow.
That's
She said, "I didn't know."
crazy. Wow.
And she had no idea until you mentioned it, until you said he needs his
No
mom.
idea.
She
I
thought
said he needs
she thought he
mommy,
was
not
doing
advice.
great. She thought he was
Yes.
doing wow.
That's a good story.
Lost his girl,
right
lost
there.
his job. Boom,
Oh
boom,
my
boom.
gosh.
That's a trip. Okay, so and we even people on can look on screen right now. This is you in the newspaper, as a matter of fact. This is you in a
that
local
was me.
newspaper
That
in
was me.
Woodstock, New York.
That's
Yep.
cool.
Yes, guys, it is
Wow.
that Woodstock. That
Yeah.
same one, the one you're thinking.
Wow.
So
If you want to start getting into some
what
of
do we
those
do now?
submitted questions,
Yeah.
so we had all of our a lot of our fans submit questions, and I sent those to you, and so you're gonna pull some cards, and you're gonna tell us what they mean and where it all goes. So the first question was from Barry's, and it asks. Where are we at? Right here. So Barry's asks, will I buy a house soon? So Barry's wants to know, will they buy a house soon?
okay, and you once the pictures come up, the that I sent to you,
Yep, got
and I'll
everything.
explain the card.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
All right.
That's so cool. We're going to be able to see the pictures on the show live.
Yeah. All right.
Yep,
Amazing.
yep.
So here we are. Pictures are on screen. So it looks like we have the King of Cups. We have upside down the 10 of Pentacles. And right side up, we have the 7 of Wands. So if you want to explain what those cards are and what those mean and what Barry's could be
Okay.
expecting when wondering if they're will be buying a house soon.
All right, so these cards show. Now, I'm not sure if I'm going to overstep myself, but I threw these cards a few times for this question
Yeah.
because I'm not certain if it's an inheritance that they're getting to buy a house, or if there's other family members involved with money,
Okay.
or that they might have come into some money recently, quickly.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
Okay, and that what's this last card here is a 7 of Wands. But well, the answer is yes. They're all right side up, except for the middle one. And the 10 of Pentacles. When the 10 of Pentacles to me, because each tarot card reader has different interpretations
Sure,
for cards and
course.
not and exact.
Yeah.
So the 10 of Pentacles reverse is like a gambler would all of a sudden they get a windfall, they get money.
Okay.
That's cool.
And so there's a message coming, but I don't know who the King of Wands is, but it shows that this last card shows that they're very defensive. They're going to have to defend it. They're going to have to defend whatever they have,
Oh, interesting.
whatever money they have, you know.
That's
But the
interesting.
answer is yes. I would just say that the answer is yes.
Okay.
Wow.
If they're going to come into money.
Well, cool.
Beautiful.
Congratulations, Barry.
Yeah, Barry's. That's awesome.
Please
okay.
come back on the show in the chat in the future, Barry's, and let us know when, should the house come to fruition. That'd be
Yeah.
wonderful to know.
Fruition.
Yeah.
So, okay, beautiful. Are you ready for the next question, Diana?
I'm ready. Yes,
All
absolutely.
right. The next question is from Felicity. Will the Raiders make it to the Super Bowl this year?
It's a good question, Felicity.
All right.
So if
So
you want to
this
say,
is what I got.
yeah, say what cards were pulled and then in what order, then, explain what it is. Thank you.
Sure. So, so the cards that were pulled, the first card is the Page of Swords. Then we have the 6 of Swords, and then we have the Ace of Cups reversed.
Okay.
So I don't know this team, but what I'm seeing here is that they're young, I'm going by the Page of Swords. A lot of them are new, probably new to the team.
It's a new team. Yeah, we just got the team. Yeah.
Okay, there you go. So it's new.
Yeah.
Some of them are wanting to leave.
Oh yeah, that's
Yeah.
true too. Or do quarterback maybe.
I don't know, but they're trying to go to safer, more stable waters. This is the Sixers.
Wow.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Where they want to
Despite
go
Vegas
to
seeming to have a lot of money, the team doesn't have exorbitant amounts like some other teams would or do.
Interesting.
And the last card is Ace of Cups reverse, which is it's getting extremely emotional, but in like an angry way, in not a positive way.
Okay.
So there might be some infighting, some things that are going on that we're not aware of.
Wow. And Felicity says, wow.
Yeah. So Felicity, from what she told me in the message, she knows about a lot of the players and the team and the owner specifically, and she said, so she just texted that's pretty dead on or pretty right on. So all right, good to know.
Good.
Oh, wow.
And I doubt you follow the Raiders, so
Yeah.
I love it.
No, I
So
don't.
do we have an
I
answer
don't.
of if they are going to the Super Bowl this year?
So here's the thing: they're young, they're focused. The swords are focused.
Okay.
Swords is thought,
Yeah.
and they want it. They really want it.
Yeah.
They could get there, but there is some disappointment.
Oh,
They
wow.
could get there, but this Ace of Cups reverse is saying no.
Okay.
So not this year. So, but they could get there. Maybe 2024, maybe 2025. It's a possibility.
They could get there and not win.
Oh, okay.
Oh shoot.
That too. Okay,
Yeah, I
some
didn't think of that.
disappointment. I got it.
Oh wow, that'd be a shame.
Ooh, that's a good
But
read
okay.
right there. I like that one.
one.
Well done.
What did McKenna say, John?
She has a question.
Oh, okay. So we'll get there. So
Yeah, we'll start getting to the chat questions very soon, guys.
Yep.
Thank you for submitting them. Keep going. Like I
Love
said,
'em.
we'll try and get to all of them.
Yep. So we just got a few more the pre-submitted questions. So Hufflepuff asks, "Is my new bird happy with us? And is he getting everything he needs, or does he want a friend?" That's sort of a two-parter, but read those cards as you will.
I will. So the bird this is a bird, right? Okay, and he was hoping for something.
Okay.
All right, things changed. Things changed for him.
Yeah.
All right, he saw a change coming, and he didn't know what it was.
Yeah.
The hermit represents being isolated, feelings of isolation.
Wow.
I actually know the story of this bird,
And-
and that's actually pretty exceptional. Okay, go on.
And the last card is the Six of Wands, which if you get him a friend, he will be on top of the world.
Oh,
He
wow.
will be so happy.
So he wants a friend.
Good
Get him a
answer.
He
Okay.
does.
Wow.
He does. He does. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, this is interesting. I like this.
That's so dead on though about the isolation and wow. Okay. That's incredible. All right. Next question. Something Corporate asks, will I have biological children in this lifetime?
So the first card we have is the moon.
Yes.
So there is a very deep emotional wanting from you. You really feel it so viscerally that you're. I mean, the moon is emotions. It's that's what it is. But here's the interesting thing. I don't know who this King of Wands is. However, the last card is the Seven of Pentacles, and it's reversed.
Okay.
So there's like a second thought. I'm not sure if this is your partner, but he's having second thoughts about this. He's not really he's a good man, if that's who it is. You want it, and it's you think about
Something
it.
Corporate is a woman. From what they sent me, they're a woman asking
Okay.
if they're gonna have children.
Yeah, it is. But I'm not sure if the King of Wands
If the man in the
is a
relationship.
partner.
Okay. If
Exactly.
he is, and so he has
If
apprehension.
he's having second thoughts.
Oh
yes.
wow.
Okay.
Okay.
And it's causing her a lot of emotional
Stress.
ups and downs.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of stress.
Oh.
Wow. Okay. So do we have an answer possibly that we can
Well,
give this person?
yeah, it could be a yes if he comes around. He has
Okay.
to think about it.
So it is changeable. The possibility
It
is there.
Yes,
Cool.
Okay, but it is.
because mhm.
Please go
Go
on.
ahead. No, because he's the King of Wands is right side up, so he's a good man.
Okay.
He really is. He's a sweet man, and he's just going through something. He's got to think about it. Give him some space.
Okay. Give
Good,
him some
yeah.
space. He needs to think about it, and he could come around.
Mm-hmm.
That's cool.
All right. So not impossible.
Yeah,
All right.
Good
I
luck
love
something
that.
corporate. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Good luck something corporate. So Barber Ann asks, will the guy I was dating reach back out to me? And I see there's two
okay.
cards. Oh, is it all the cards?
Three.
All of the
All
cards are
three.
reversed.
Mhm.
Wow. That is a
All the
genuine
cards
trip.
are reversed,
All right.
and that is a no. That is a no. And so the Page of Cups is surprises, but this is reversed, so it's not a good surprise. The Nine of
Dang,
Cups is
okay.
wishes and hopes, but it's reversed, so no, not going to happen. I'm sorry.
Damn.
And the last card is the Page of Wands,
Yeah.
and that's a bad, not a good message. So I'm sorry.
What does
but
the Page
answer is-
of Wands mean, if you don't mind?
Page of Wands, right way up. The Page of Wands is a message coming.
Okay.
Is a message coming in?
But it's reversed.
All right.
Yeah.
I know. So it's not a good message.
Okay.
That means it's a bad message.
Dang.
Wow.
It's not what you wanted to hear.
Probably for the best, Barbara Ann. Good luck.
I'm sorry. I
Yeah.
really am.
Hey.
Oh, well.
Yeah, you're a mere messenger.
Should we start doing some chat questions?
I think we only have just a few left, but if we want to throw a chat,
Yeah,
in
just for
between,
time reasons, because we
Sure.
got a lot of good questions
we
in the
do.
chat.
So that's Barbara Ann's question.
Okay.
Let's do one more. Let's do Cat Lover 99 because she submitted in a couple places, so I know she's cares about this question
Yeah.
quite a bit. So we'll do Cat Lover 99 next, and then we'll do some chat ones. So Cat Lover 99 asks, "Is my cat happy after we moved to this new city?" So I'm assuming the question is, are they content with where they are now as opposed to their previous location?
Yes, they are. Except she's angry with you.
All right. All right.
She's happy. It is a new beginning,
Yeah.
but she's not settled yet. There's a lot for her to adjust to.
Okay.
Wow.
But yeah, she's happy. She's happy.
All right. Beautiful. And
That's
then,
good.
so we're going to do some chat questions. And so let's read some right now. We don't have to do the pictures for them. You can just say it.
Yeah.
All right.
I know. I will.
Beautiful. So, all right, Jared, do you want to read the first one?
Yeah, let's
just
go
tell
up
me
a
where
little
it's at.
bit. Okay, let's do. Okay, keep going down. I'll tell you when.
Yep.
Keep going down.
Ba-da-bum, ba-da-bum,
All right, let's stay right
ba-da-bum.
here for a second because I saw some questions here. All right. So we have, let's see, Felicity got a reading. McKenna had a question. So McKenna's asking, will I have children and marriage early in my adult life or later in my adult life?
Will I have children and marriage early or later in my adult life?
Yes.
Okay. And the name is McKenna.
Yes.
McKenna asks.
McKenna.
Yep.
You want to know if you're going to have children?
Yep. Will
sooner
she
than
have
later.
children and marriage early or later in her adult life? So it's supposed to be yes or no. So will she have children
Yeah.
early in her life?
Oh, yeah. There we go.
Now, let's do it that way.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see what we have here from McKenna.
I hear
So,
you shuffling
judgment?
the deck and moving
Yeah.
everything. I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
This
love
is
it.
so great.
It's so freaking
and the chat
cool.
is saying that
The
a lot of this
chat-
stuff is dead
Yeah.
on. Yeah. And
They're-
it amazing.
They're digging it.
Yeah.
I'm digging it.
Okay. So we have judgment. Then we have the the Two of Pentacles reversed, and the last card is the Three of Cups. Yes.
Early.
Yes, you will.
Okay.
Early.
Nice.
So,
Yes,
McKenna,
definitely. 2 years, in about 2 years.
within
Wow.
2 years.
That's cool.
Okay. Do you want to explain a little bit how you got to that? What the cards mean? If you want to explain one or two of the cards.
Well, judgment, sure. Judgment, judgment. Things are changing around you.
Okay.
They've already changed, and you have to go with the change. The Two of Pentacles reversed is some decision. You're putting off a decision. And then you have the Three of Cups at the end, which is celebration. And it's three. It's a bunch of people celebrating. So that's how I came to that.
McKenna, I don't know how you feel, but I know when Diana read my cards, I was literally giddy because everything was so dead on in ways that I couldn't even explain. It was so dead on. So McKenna, let us know in the chat how accurate that was, or if it's totally off. Let us know how it was. But Diana is saying that yes, it will be within the next 2 years, most likely.
That's
so that is
great.
freaking
Yeah. Congratulations,
goodness.
McKenna.
Congratulations,
Yeah,
McKenna.
let us know how that
You deserve it,
goes.
I'm
Yeah.
sure. You seem like an awesome freaking person.
Yep, agreed. We have one from Jessica
Okay.
about me. So Jessica Brittany is asking, I want to know if Jared and I will have a wedding soon. I'm thinking is what she's asking.
I'm presuming. Yeah.
Yeah, yes or no?
Okay.
McKenna said, "Oh my
Like a
God,
real
interesting." TBRM said, "Wow, she's amazing."
Thank
Sarah
you.
said, "If you have time." Oh, is that a question? Then we'll get to that.
Yeah.
Okay. So sorry. All right, Diana, I apologize. Go on.
No, that's fine. It's not yes, it's not no. It looks like Jared's having a problem making up his mind. Sorry.
Wow, I don't.
That's
I believe
that's
that.
actually dead on.
I believe
Yeah,
that.
and it's not what
Yeah.
you would think. Yeah.
Yeah, and as soon as Jared lets go of his burdens, just let him go. You're carrying too much on your shoulders.
Holy
Agreed.
freaking
Just let it
moly!
go, and everything will be fine. Yes.
Thank you.
Jared. Yes.
Wow.
You have a lot on your shoulders. Let
Yeah.
it go, and then you can think of your future with your wife.
Wow, that's pretty dead.
Wow.
And I'll say because this is about me, so that the audience knows, because I don't mind sharing this. My biggest reservation with us getting married is that I want to do it right. I wanted to have like a big wedding with all the family and all of our friends, and honestly, financially, that's the problem.
You want to have. You want the $1 billion wedding that she deserves.
We
in your
just
head.
had a
Yeah.
baby, and honestly, I want to do it right. Could we go to the courthouse and get married? And would I
Of
do
course.
that? I would
Of
do that in a
course you would.
second. I want to marry this woman, but I wanted to do it right with a real wedding, and
She
those are
deserves
my
the
reservations.
fairy tale wedding.
Exactly, I
And,
agree.
and you want to give that to her.
Yeah, so
No,
that's
I'm saying
dead
from your
on.
point of view.
Yeah, that's dead on.
I don't think she deserves shit. I'm just kidding. I love you, Jess.
Oh my
but no, you want. Of course, you want to give her the fairy tale wedding.
Yeah.
And anything less than that is
yeah,
bullshit.
Yeah,
In your head.
and not just for her, for me. I
Yeah.
really want us to. I want to celebrate with
This
everyone
is
I
it.
love.
This is it.
Yeah, man.
And you want to make it
yeah.
beautiful.
So that's dead on. Thank you,
That's
Diana.
so dead. And you having all the
Wow.
crap on your shoulders.
Yeah. Oh,
I mean, I know that.
yeah.
I'm not trying to get
Carry a
into-
lot, yeah.
But you carry a lot, and you carry it heavily, bro.
Yeah.
Heavily.
Oh.
But we won't get too far into that.
Yeah,
but
that's
yeah, that
amazing.
is
Wow,
freaking dead on.
Yeah.
But all right, next question. Do you see one in the chat, Jared? You know your
Let's
brother's
see.
blind.
I know we had some earlier on. So, guys, if you did ask some questions earlier in the show, you throw them back in the chat just in case. But yeah, let's scroll through and see if we can find some quickly here.
No, I think they're all more recent. Unless you
Yeah.
see any. I think we went back as far as we could.
Did we? Okay,
Yep.
keep going.
Tell me when, brother.
Yeah, I'll tell you when. And I think Sarah had another question. that
She
threw
did,
in.
but I think that's further down if I'm not mistaken.
Okay, then yeah, just we can go to the bottom then. Yeah, because I think
Not
it
the-
was like early in the show.
This is the bottom. So will I have children? Okay,
Yep,
so we did
we did
McKenna.
that one. Mm-hmm.
Beautiful. All right, so we got a few more pre-submitted questions. The next one is from Hello Sydney. Will I move to New York City in my lifetime?
Ooh, that's a good one.
From Hello, Sydney.
Okay, so what we have here, so this one, let me make sure this is from Sydney. Hold on.
Yeah. I see a 10 of
No.
swords.
Oh, yeah, it's reverse. Okay, good.
Yep.
So the Ten of Swords reversed is a good card, actually, because it's courage to rise.
Okay.
To come out of a bad situation.
Okay.
The next card is the Moon. You went through an emotional roller coaster recently.
Okay.
But now you have a new beginning. Now you have absolutely the Fool. Just go for it. You're okay. Yes, you will.
Wow. I like that. That's cool. Wow.
That's what
So,
I get from it.
Yeah. Best of luck. Hello, Sydney.
Hello,
Sounds
Sydney.
like,
Yeah, that sounds pretty darn accurate. So the Fool, right side up, what does that denote?
The Fool is, if you can see, he's just leaping off a mountain and the dog is following him.
Yeah.
So this is someone who's just blind faith. Just
Okay.
if you have something you want, just do it. Just
Taking a
and
little leap.
how you fall,
Taking
you
the
fall.
freaking leap.
But it's also it's a positive card too. It's also like a yes card.
Okay.
Oh, that's cool.
It's a new beginning.
Yeah. So this person,
Wonderful.
okay, so this person has had a lot of change going on, and then they have to make that leap to get it, but they can absolutely attain that goal.
Their trials are over. The Ten of Swords reverse shows you're over. That's over.
Okay.
And
that's cool.
and you might not feel like it's over
Yeah.
because of the Moon.
Sure.
The Moon, it's very emotional. But the Fool next to the Moon is a new beginning. It's just go for it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's do another one from the chat.
Yeah. We have TBRM has one. TBRM is asking. Oh, go ahead.
No, right here, I think that's the one you wanted to say.
Right,
unless I'm
but
blind.
just because
no,
she's had
you
a
know better
shot
than me.
before.
Go
Yeah.
for it, brother.
So we have TBRM is asking, will I stay in this state, like geographically? Will I stay in this state or move out of state?
Yeah.
So will she move out of state? I think was the yes or no question there.
So TBRM,
What
think
is
really
it?
hard. Think about Diana. Think about your question, and really push it to the forefront of your mind. Let's get this going.
Yep.
What is the name?
TBRM.
TBRM. If they will move out of state, is that the question?
Correct.
Yes.
Are they? Okay. Moving out of state.
Yes.
Tina.
Well, that is information between us. I put us on the side. Her name is Tina, but let's go by TBRM. Yeah, so I'm going back to regular.
Okay.
All right.
Yep. Okay. So let me see what we have here. We have the Four of Cups,
TBRM.
and we have the Lovers reversed, and then we have the Five of Wands.
The Lovers reversed, you said?
Yes.
Okay.
So the first card is the Four of Cups.
Yes.
So there's loss here, and someone's offering you something.
Okay.
You're not sure whether you want to take it or not.
Okay. TBRM, listen up.
There's the Lovers reverse is some sort of a breakup, maybe, or leaving someone, or something's not working between two people.
Okay.
And then the Five of Wands is there's a lot of fighting. There's a lot of fighting. So how I do it, 3 cards. The
You read
first
it as
one
a
is counted
sentence. Yeah.
as a sentence, but also the first card is 1 point. The middle card is 2, and the third card is 1. So when you add it up, so it's break even. There's no right answer, but the only thing I can see here is that the relationship that you're in or that is ended just left you in a fighting stance.
Oh wow.
And you don't know which way to go. You have an offer, but you're not sure you want to take it.
And this is to move out of state or not. Okay.
Interesting.
All right, very
Yeah,
interesting.
And
cool.
it's not letting me know. It's 2 to 2. It's the first and
Wow.
the last card equal
It's
to,
sort of
and
a
the middle card
stalemate.
upside down.
Yeah.
It's a stalemate.
Wow.
But there's a lot of there's a lot of fighting going on. Not to hurt, not
Sure.
like vicious fighting,
Sure.
but just not a happy home.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. Awesome. Okay, so we've got a couple more in the chat because we're coming up on a late hour
Yep.
here.
Yep.
We have so Sarah Van Bergen. She's asking, "Will I be successful in my new business?"
Oh wow, good question.
That's a
I
great
like
question.
Where are
this
you
kind of
seeing
question.
that?
Yeah. Right below less agreed. Yeah, there.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, because I was looking at this one that she said, "Will this podcast be successful?"
Oh, that's a great question too.
Yeah. So will Sarah Van Bergen,
Van Bergen.
she's asking, will she be successful in her business, her new business? And we do have some more pre-submitted questions that we'll get to.
Okay, sure.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm sorry.
Oh no, you're good.
Sorry.
No. I was showing Jared
So we
something
have
funny.
the chariot. We have the chariot reversed.
Okay. I'm sorry. What was the question? I totally spaced.
Movement.
Oh, will her business be successful? I apologize. My fault, guys. All right,
No,
go on.
okay. So the first card is the chariot reversed,
Okay.
and this shows that you're not ready yet. I don't know. The thing isn't ready yet. It's not stable enough yet to launch it. It's not ready yet.
Interesting.
The next card is the Five of Cups reversed.
Okay.
And it might be some loss if you do it now.
Oh wow.
And the last and the last card is Eight of Pentacles reversed. There's a lot more work that you have to do before you take that leap, I would say.
She just said she's moving states in a week, so I think there's a lot to be done.
Yeah,
needless
that's probably
to
what it
say.
is. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, that's interesting.
Wow.
So-
So now is not the time. You're moving.
Right.
You're literally moving
Now is not the time.
in a week.
Okay.
So I think she even knows that to an extent.
Right. Yeah.
Because she said she didn't say, "Oh, that's funny," or "Oh, that." She said, "I'm moving in states in a week." That's
Yeah. So things are kind of upended. It's not
exactly.
a stable.
So now is
environment.
not
Yeah.
the time
Yeah, it's not
to
right.
force it.
Yeah, everything is
She knows that.
out of her hands right now. She has no control of it.
Okay.
I think she knows
Very
that too,
interesting.
based on her comment. I think she knows that.
Yeah.
That's pretty wild.
Yeah.
Okay, so one of the comments we had submitted,
Yeah.
and this is from Chase Mack. Will China invade Taiwan in 2024?
Interesting. Yeah.
Very fascinating question.
Interesting.
All right,
Chase.
Chase,
Yeah,
let's see what we got. Chase,
It's a good question.
yep, friend of the show.
It is.
Chase Mack, friend of the
Well,
show.
Taiwan is a hard island to invade because of their tall mountains, and there's only one way in, and that's the west side.
Hence why
of
it
the
hasn't been
country. And so
invaded
it
previously.
would be a meat grinder if people came across.
Oh wow.
So yeah.
A meat
So
grinder.
it would be. So here we are. So we have. So here's the answer.
What cards?
They want to. This is the chariot.
Okay.
The chariot is moving forward. So this is movement,
Ooh.
and it's controlled movement. You're able to control these two figures in the front.
Okay.
Now the next card is Six of Pentacles reversed, and the next one is Two of Pentacles reversed. So the Six of Pentacles reversed is that they don't have. China does not have the equipment, the people,
capability.
They're
Okay.
suffering. They're suffering, and of course we don't know because they're so cloistered.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
And the last one, the Two of Pentacles, they know they'll lose money if they did it. They would lose money.
Interesting.
Yeah,
So
very
the answer is
fascinating.
no, because so if you see the first card is I count as 1, the middle is 2, and the last is 1.
Yeah.
So we have 3 to 1. So that's a no.
All right.
That's a no.
Well, that's good news.
That's a no.
Yeah.
That's freaking great news
Yeah.
because we don't want all that business going on.
Good question,
So,
Chase.
by the way, Diana, Sarah, who you just answered her question previously, said, "Wow, yes, absolutely."
Right.
So, yeah, pretty dead on.
So she's agreeing that it's not the right time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. She's moving.
Yeah,
So
it's not.
another one from Minnie. She asks, "Will my financial situation improve soon?"
And this was a pre-submitted
Okay.
question.
This is a pre-submitted question. Yeah.
Right. Right. So we have judgment,
Okay.
and then we have the Page of Cups, and then the last card is
Page of Pentacles upside down.
wait, no, it's the Page of Pentacles. Okay. So I'm sorry, what was the question again?
It was, "Will my financial situation improve soon?"
Yes. It's already been preordained. It's already in the books.
Nice.
There is a surprise coming, however, and it's a good surprise.
Okay.
But this Page of Pentacles reversed shows that the decision that you make, be careful with your decision when you make a decision. Something's going to be asked of you, or something's going to come to you out of the blue, and you're not going to be ready for it. But it has to do with money. So be very careful.
It has to do
how
with
you
what? I'm sorry?
answer.
Money.
Money.
Money. The Page of Pentacles reversed. So any twos are decisions that you have to make a choice. Like
Okay, I know the person that
uh,
submitted this
choice.
question, and holy freaking moly.
Really?
Holy moly.
Wow. Cool.
I don't even
Another
know what
hit.
to say.
Yeah. Wow.
Like, I can't wait for Minnie to hear this, because I just text her, because holy freaking moly.
Wow.
Like, that is...
Good luck,
And
Minnie.
I even know specifically, like, what is being referred to, if I'm not mistaken, which I don't believe I am.
That's amazing.
Wow. So
Yeah.
let's do another chat question, and then we can
Absolutely.
try and get all the chat ones, and then we'll see if we could wrap her up.
Yeah.
So
let's do one more, I think, and wrap it up.
well, let's see what we got.
Yeah.
So Sarah, by the way, says, "Thank you, Diana. This is amazing."
Yep.
Thank you.
TBRM said, "Wow, she's amazing." Cat lover.
Oh,
Do I attract wealthy? Okay. Well, you pick, Jared. What do you believe should be the next question?
Sure. Well, there's one about us. I'm not sure I want to even go there.
I don't want to tempt the fate.
Yeah, exactly. I'd rather do chat questions about everyone else.
I think
don't want to
so.
be Iron Man and make decisions based on this reading.
And I don't want to be Captain America.
Yeah.
And try and be, the savior of everybody
Right,
and take
so-
over all the heat from everybody else.
Okay.
And
So let's
I'll
do
let
one
someone
more
else do
chat
it.
question for somebody, and then we'll wrap it up with you,
So,
Diana.
is there anybody here who hasn't gotten an opportunity?
Yeah, anybody, if you're in the chat and we did not get to your question, please throw it in now. We're going to do one last question. We've asked a few questions for a couple of the same people, so we'd love to get some new, if you haven't had a turn yet, is what I'm saying.
By
Throw
the
it
way,
in there.
Sarah again said, "Wow, World Event Tarot reading. This is great."
Wow, that's a really
in
good
reference,
one. Chase
obviously,
did.
to the China Taiwan question.
Yeah.
So Chase Mack, if you have another question, brother, please. McKenna loved your question. TBRM loved
yeah.
your question. Cat Lover loved your question. Sarah loved your question. So
Yeah, so many good questions in there.
Jared, did you have something that you wanted to ask?
Well, I think she answered one of those questions because I was going
Sure,
to ask
sure.
what was one of her most terrifying readings, and she talked about that woman and her son.
That was wild.
So that's a scary one. And then I had another question: is in your opinion, Diana, what was one of the most interesting readings you've ever done? Something that was gleaned that was interesting.
Well, this is funny. I was hired at it wasn't a wedding, it was before the wedding. And it was a very rich people, big tent, huge tent. And I came in all dressed like a gypsy, I had my cards. And people don't usually come up to me. I have to go up to them because they're, I guess they're shy or whatever. So this was a young girl who's going to get married. And they were having a party, I guess. what are they called? I don't know. Engagement
A
party.
soiree,
So-
a gathering. Okay.
There you go. So there was this a cluster of older women, and I went over to them and I said, "Somebody wants your cards read," and one says, "Oh yeah, I'll have my cards read." And
Sure.
as I'm reading the cards, I said, "You have a son?" Yes. She says, "Yes." "Oh yeah, my son." And I think she was Russian, and I said, "Well, he's going to be breaking off with his girlfriend." And she said, "Oh no, he's not breaking off. He's the one who's getting married."
Oh.
So, I'm at this wedding, and I'm
Oh,
telling the mother-in-law that the son is going to be, that there's going to be a
Oh,
breakup.
shit.
So I said,
She has no idea that that's what he's
myself.
thinking. Oh, wow.
Right. So I walked away from her, and I thought, well, maybe, they're not working. Maybe my cards aren't working. Then a little bit later, a group of young girls come over, and they pull this other girl over. Now, I don't know anybody at the party. And they said, do her cards.
Okay.
I did them, and I said, oh my God. I said, it looks like, you're not going to go through with something. Looks like a breakup here. And she says, yes, I'm the bride.
Oh, what?
She was the bride.
Oh,
Now, I don't know what happened after that, but it was amazing.
You read it
Oh,
for
my goodness.
both of them.
My
That's
goodness.
wild. Yeah.
That is a
That was wild.
trip.
That's a wild one. Oh.
That's a trip. Do we have any
Yeah.
more in the chat? Or is that a wrap?
Let's see if we want to do any others. We've actually gotten to a lot of good, interesting questions
I
here.
know. But this is such a great moment.
Yeah.
If there's any others, guys, last minute.
Last call.
Last call. That's what I was looking for. Last call. You don't gotta go home, but you can't stay here. Diane, welcome. Thank you. So everybody's really loving the readings.
Yeah.
So that's all of the readings we got from YouTube and that I got from all the other platforms.
Yeah.
And it's so great that I was able to have pictures and everything with it. So is there anything that we want to ask Jared? Maybe something even maybe a little bit funny or a little bit silly.
I'm not for me. No, I'm actually totally impressed right now and blown away. I'm kind of in a state of like amazement.
How about, do you want to get sort of serious and ask 1K subs how if it'll be within the next 6 months or something like that?
If we'll hit 1K by the end of the year.
Yeah.
How about that?
Let's do that.
Okay.
So Diana, if we may be so bold, will
Yes.
we, how about just monetize instead of 1K?
Sure. Yeah.
Will we become a part of the YouTube partnership program by the end of the year, within this year? Will we become part of the YouTube partnership program?
That's a good question. I like that.
Oof. Get ready, bro. This is gonna.
And to all the viewers out there, this is in your hands just as much as ours.
I know, right?
So, thank you so much.
There's smoke coming out of the cards.
That would be me.
Right.
There we go. Let me shuffle.
And Jared. That would be both.
Right.
So it's very fitting. It smokes coming out of the cards. Okay, please come
Okay,
on.
let me-
Good cards. Good
Will
cards.
you
good cards,
guys
no
get
negatives.
1,000? Yeah.
And I'm just repeating the question in my head, just trying to send that energy.
Yeah,
so I
yeah.
get that answer, despite what it is. I just want the answer.
Not in the next 6 months, but after that, absolutely.
Yes. Good.
And
That's good.
And it will happen in February.
Okay.
February next year.
I like
You'll-
it.
you'll start to,
That's kind of what we were
get
shooting
up
for,
there.
Yeah, it's not too
honestly.
bad,
Yeah, it's kind of what we were shooting for. So that's great.
So is
good
there any
news.
cards that aren't, I forget the name, aren't major arcana cards, but minor arcana cards where we might be able to change that possibility or do something to improve that potential?
Well, tarot just tells you, in my
So
opinion,
no, okay.
the atmosphere, the atmosphere around what's happening, the energy around what's happening. It
Okay.
could change.
We have one more question I
Definitely
want to
can-
do from the chat before we
Yeah,
let
I
you
knew
go.
when you saw
And
that you
thank
were
you
gonna
for
want
your
it.
time.
I know, we
tonight.
appreciate your time so much.
Yeah. Well, last question we promised, and this is again from Sarah Van Bergen. She's asking, will the evidence of aliens be common knowledge?
Ever.
On a
Ever.
personal level, I say yes. I saw a spaceship.
Yeah, so have
actually
I. I've seen a
witnessed
UFO.
it.
That's
She's
cool.
like, I don't even got to pull cards.
Yeah.
I saw a fucking UFO yesterday.
Yeah, so.
Crazy. Yeah.
But common knowledge meaning proof. Will we finally have proof of extraterrestrial life?
Do, but yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So tell me what cards you pull, because I'm very curious.
So here's the cards. Now, I have Strength reversed, the World reversed, and then I have the King of Cups. So the reason
Oh, wow.
I'm
That's
going
funny.
to say yes is because of the reaction, the world's reaction
Yeah.
Interesting.
to it. So the first one is Strength reversed. So what that's telling me is
It's
that
like aliens, world, and government. It's like, sorry, go on.
yeah. Did you ever read Childhood's End?
No.
Okay. That's wonderful sci-fi, science fiction book. So Arthur C. Clarke, Childhood's End, you really should read it.
Yeah.
It's a small book. It's good.
Okay.
It's about that. So Strength reverse shows that because there's something higher, a higher knowledge than us, it's going to make us humans feel like we've lost our power.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see
see
that.
Okay, and the next one is the World reversed, which is gonna
Wow.
it's gonna turn our world upside down.
I would
Definitely.
agree. Yeah.
That's a
Upside
literal
down.
interpretation right
And-
there.
Cool.
Yep, literal, yes. And then the last one is the King of Cups. We're going to become extremely emotional about it. However, we're going to look at it as something that is not going to hurt us. We're going to realize that they're here with compassion to help us.
Good.
Okay.
That's a good thing.
With it,
Yes.
best case scenario.
Yeah, that's a good read, and I imagine that's going to be dead on.
So I got to say,
Brilliant.
Diana, thank you so much for your time.
Thank
this
you.
was eye-opening, wonderful,
Oh, yeah.
amazing, just crazy and fun for all of us.
Yeah, it's a lot of
Thank you
fun.
so much.
Thank
This was such a fun part of the episode, and I appreciate you so very much for your time. And I absolutely want you to come back and maybe do a reading where we do 2 or 3, maybe in an episode, and just have a quick little tarot session.
Yeah.
So thank you so much. If you're up for it, let me know. We'll talk more. But I appreciate your time. We respect you. We love you. And even Sarah says, that's beautiful. So great. We all love and appreciate you.
Yeah.
Felicity says, so amazing, Diana. Thank you so much for your time and insight.
Yep.
We all love you. We all appreciate you. Is there anything you wanted to say? Is there anything that you're doing in the future that you want to talk about? Or are you just whatever you want? This is your time. You have the floor.
No, it's my pleasure to be here to help people. I love doing the cards. It gets people out of their heads. It makes them look a little expand their
Horizons.
thoughts a little.
Look into the ether as opposed to.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
If I'm wrong,
people have to get out of their head. They
Yeah.
have to.
Yes.
Yeah.
And as
the
you
cards
told me,
help.
yeah,
They do.
absolutely. As you told me in my card reading that I am very much too much in my head, and you were freaking dead on. So,
Yeah.
everybody, let's give a big round of applause to Diana. Thank you
thank
so
you,
much. You were
Diana.
delightful, so insightful, so dead on,
The
so
chat
great.
is
The
exploding
chat
with
exploded
thank
with
yous,
your love.
and you're amazing. And so, yeah, a lot of love for
A
you
lot
right
of
now,
love for
Diana,
you,
from the
and
chat.
and from Jared and
Oh,
I
yeah,
as well.
thank you so
Thank you so much, Diana. We will talk to you soon.
was
Have a
great.
lovely night. I know you're in a different time zone, so we appreciate you staying up late and doing this with us. You are the freaking best, and we will absolutely make sure we talk to you very soon. Thank you so much, Diana.
Yep, thank you. Have a great night.
Thank you.
Thank you. Take care. Bye.
Wow, how fun
Beautiful,
was that?
dude. That
Yeah,
was
that's so fun.
fucking
Yeah,
dope, bro.
wow.
So good. So good.
Great show. A lot of fun.
McKenna said, whoop, whoop.
Yeah, best
McKenna got a
show
great answer.
from TBRM.
Thank
That's
you.
beautiful, so great, so amazing, Diana.
Thank
Thank you, Diana. Thank you, Diana. You're amazing, Diana.
Cat lover.
Woo, woo.
Thank you,
yeah.
Nighty. Yeah.
So cool.
Well, actually, thank Diana and thank you guys.
Thank
you
you.
guys are the reason why we do this. You guys are the reason why the show works, the reason why the show happens at all. Because the reason we get up and get ready in the morning for this, because of you guys. So we cannot thank you enough. We love you so much.
Yep.
And make sure you do yourselves the kindness of hitting that like, hitting that subscribe, leaving a comment, and checking out that Patreon, because it'll really helps us a lot so that we can continue doing this free, amazing, cool content for you guys.
Yeah.
So we love you. Thank you, everyone that submitted questions. You guys
Yes,
freaking rock.
you helped make
Thank
the
you.
show tonight.
You made the freaking show.
Yeah.
Everybody who's subscribed, everybody who likes every show, everybody who likes and comments on all of it. You guys rock. We love you. And we will see you on the flippity floppity.
Oh, yeah.
See you Thursday for Crash Talk and the
Yep.
next Tuesday, 6 p.m. for another TPTNS.
Thanks,
Love you guys.
everybody.
Take care. Thank you.